Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. We just got back last night from Los Angeles, so I thought I was going to be really tired today, but actually it's been a really good day. It's so really nice in Vegas, so I got a lot to talk about what happened over the weekend, different stuff. So I'm going to do my workout. I didn't think I was going to because I had to work this morning, and I'm like, I'm going to be too tired. But actually, I think I'm starting to really feel better because today is day 33, no alcohol, so woo. But I do go to New York in 17 days, so I'm a little bit worried about that. But I am happy it's day 33, so I'm just going to think about today and not try to worry about 17 days for now. But I am getting anxious about it because it's 17 days away. But there was some alcohol in the house when we got back. Richard had got Gloria just this one can of alcohol, and she just never finishes or anything. And it was like almost the whole can was there. It was some, I don't know, Smirnoff something in a can. And every time I opened the fridge, I was like, it was like grabbing at me, and I was like, wow, it is still strong even like in day 33, you know, if it's right in front of you. So Richard poured it out. But that's a little frustrating to me because I felt like I was stronger, and then when it's in the fridge, you're like, oh my gosh, like I want to drink it. I didn't, but it's like I wanted to, and that's why I'm a little frustrated because it's such an intense addiction. Yeah, you know, like it's like I am definitely an alcoholic, so I was like, that's definitely my strongest issue of an addiction is alcohol. Like I don't know, and it's so bad for me. And I feel so much better on day 33. Like I'm getting my body back a little bit because what happens with alcohol is you don't look good in any way. You like lose all your shape because I think alcohol messes with any sort of diet or nutrition. Like I think if you're no matter what diet you're doing or nutrition, I think like if you drink alcohol, I think kind of like, or if you go to the gym, I think still kind of throws out the window a little bit. I mean, I think, you know, you can still get a little bit, but I think you're working very hard too, you know what I mean? I think it makes it much harder to be healthy, you know?
He loves your videos.
Oh, thank you. Do you guys see the new wave? I put up the wave one. Huh? Hi. Oh, Joe, thank you for saying you love my videos. I just put up that new wave one from when we were in LA. We had so much fun, so I'm gonna get into that. But let's. Do you want me to start with some nunchucks here or do the push-ups? Let's do the push-ups first. Yeah, let's do some push-ups. Let's do some push-ups, you guys. I'm gonna attempt to do the 20 now. This is my first day back from LA, so I haven't done push-ups in at least since what day? Thursday was, I think, the last vlog that I did push-ups because, are we going this direction, Rich? Oh, there's another towel. That's not a flag, it's on the ground. It's easy this way. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I think the last day we did a vlog with, kind of like workout was, Thursday. But, so I'm a little bit stoned. So I'm California sober. If I say I'm sober, it's yeah. So I have some California weed I had. You know, it's pretty expensive there because we have to pay all the taxes, and you know we don't have like a medical card there because we have a medical card here, which takes away a lot of the taxes. So and then you have like where you know you're like VIP if you go to the same place. You know you have little things like you know like basically like buy 9 coffees get the 10th one free kind of. They do that with weed too, and so we get deals all the time. But when you go somewhere you've never been in another state, like it's much more expensive. It's like oh jeez.
That's why we're a little bit late today.
Yeah, that's really late today. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, it's the weed. We keep forgetting what we're doing. Okay, I'm gonna try to do 20 push-ups. Like I said, I haven't done this since Thursday, and then Thursday I was just getting back on track from doing this. Remember, you guys, because of the drinking. So it's day 33, no alcohol, and I drank for about anywhere from like 10 to 12 days. I don't remember.
Says hi.
Who?
Clay.
Clay. Hi, Clay. Hello, Clay. Okay, so I'm gonna tip. So you guys don't be hating on my push-ups, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. I hope those are good. Okay. Man, I used to be so much better. I'm trying, you guys. I'm getting there. It's hard because, hey, but New York, this trip will be, sorry, I'm sorry. I got tongue twist. This music is too loud in my ear and then everything going on.
You want that fan?
Yeah, that fan and then this music, I'm like, I can't think. And that means my music is too loud. But yeah, then that fan too is like, okay.
Janet Warren says hi.
Hi, Janet Warren. How you doing? Sweet. Janet Warren.
Sweet Janet Warren. Bum, bum, bum.
Good time. Not about sleep. Okay, I'm gonna do crunches. I'm really out of source. We did that weed. That's some good weed. So the one that we are doing is called Jedi OG. If you imagine, so ain't that something?
Which you are.
And I'm Jedi Joy for those of you guys that don't know. Okay, I'm gonna do. I like doing crunches. People go, "Oh, why don't you do sit-ups?" I don't know. I'm an old lady, and also, I did crunches when I was young, and then at some point I learned when I was younger that it's really bad on your back. So you actually can get about the same experience. You just have to maybe do different, move your feet differently to get different areas. I don't get all the areas, but I just do what I like to do. But I'm gonna do 100 crunches, not sit-ups, with my legs like this, and then I'm gonna do 50 with one leg up and up. And there's a lot more things where you can just hold your legs up in the air, or pull those down, and that really works your abs. So there's all different things. I'm not an expert in fitness, but I just like to do certain things. That's kind of what I'm showing you. To kind of get me just wanted to kind of just get my heart rate up, just kind of, yeah. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74,
Looking good tonight, John.
27, 28, 29, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Okay, and then I'm gonna do 50 this way and 50 that way. Feeling pretty good today. I don't know how it looks, but I'm feeling less tired, so that's good. Going to California is really helping my psyche. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I could try out here. And I get all this like white crust, you know, like, ew, what's in your mouth? Yeah, it's from talking too much in the desert. Talking too much and working out in the desert. Not advice.
Those are the calls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35,
Alcohol's
36,
cuts.
37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Yeah, I put on weight with alcohol. It was a good and bad thing for me, in the sense I was too thin, so it was not bad that I put on weight, but it wasn't good the weight that I put on, because it was like, it's like but then now I've been able to try to kind of like tone it. But like at first it was all just like my body just went like haywire. It like, because I had like a really fit body, and then it just went like haywire. Where I'm like, oh dear. And then now I'm kind of trying to get it toned up. But yeah, I know if I drink again, this is gonna go haywire again, and that frustrates me because I'm going back to New York. The only time that's a question if I'm gonna drink is this trip to New York. Like California is not an issue now. Like I don't even think I thought about it this trip, Rich. Did we even talk about it?
No, you didn't think about it once on this trip.
No, I didn't. I just realized it not until I maybe did a blog. But then I didn't think about it again after the blog. It was like, oh, I gotta do my nunchucks. Yeah, it just like, I don't know. It's just it's all about health there. It's for us, especially for us. I mean, not for everyone maybe, but like the vibe that we've been getting, like when we go, like we've gone to the beach and stuff, and it's just like, especially if we go to the beach, everyone is, all about health. I'm gonna try to go back here, but I don't want to hit the wall, but there's only a tiny bit of sunlight left. So let me try and snag it here. I think I can go a little bit over here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna try these nunchucks, but I can't hit this wall here, so. Okay, here we go. I think if I go like back, I can kind of be in the sun. Here we go, so.
Nunchuck time. Hey, Chuck Norris.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. These are actually getting pretty loose, these ones. Yeah.
Remember we used to duct tape the old ones.
I know, these ones are getting really loose. Thank you. Thank you for the compliments.
Don't knock a tooth out.
I know. Alright, a bad tooth. That would be bad.
Little Grim wants to know, what's this workout called?
Nunchucking. Snag my finger, I think. I didn't got it. This thing's getting loose. So when nunchucks are new, they're much stiffer. When they get old, they get really loose. All this stuff gets loose. The bearing here gets loose, and this gets loose on here. We've had a lot of pair of nunchucks. You for sure about a lot of pair of nunchucks. Because they weren't all like that. We've had different ones. All different ones. But we've had a bunch of these ones too. This is, I think, our third set of the bamboo ones. A third set of having two. Because we always get two. Because I've always doing the... I am stoned today. I have always been doing the two nunchuck thing. That's just my thing. Like, I don't know. I didn't really get into it. Richard does the where you swing it over the arm, But that, I kept getting bruised on my back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not into that.
What do you call this workout?
It's nunchucking. It's nunchucks. They're nunchucks.
It's the Deadeye workout.
Jedi nunchucking. But it's amazing what a workout nunchucks are. It doesn't seem like it to you guys.
You've been called a Democrat and a MAGA supporter on the same string. Don't mention that.
I know. I think my outfit is confusing. It's like, which way is she going? I don't know. Hi, yo, gal. You'll never know.
Jesus loves you.
He sure does. Always has. Mama been telling me that my whole life that Jesus loved me. Thank you so much.
Can you fly?
I wish. Maybe in my next life. I can fly on a plane. I'm flying on a plane in November to New York City. I do like a little more nunchucking, and then we're gonna sit.
Says you are great.
Soap
Mason.
Soap?
Like Sophie.
Oh, Sophie.
But short.
I have the music, so I'm like Sophie Mason.
Sophie Mason. Soap Mason.
Very cute name.
Mason is your.
I don't know. All right.
Joy looks great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliments. Richard, I know it's me only the compliments, but I appreciate the compliments. No
Is that
reason.
Miley Cyrus? Looks like her.
Miley Cyrus, I know. I actually really like Miley Cyrus, but not so much now. Oh, she went off the deep end. But I really liked Miley Cyrus in like 2014. Like 2014 Miley Cyrus. But I liked her before then because I had a little cousin. So my aunt was one of those people that had a daughter way later than everyone else. So we were all like grown, but then we had the younger cousin. And so I forget, I must have been like 15 when she was born, or something like that. And so I ended up living with them for a very short time when I lived in Washington. And so I would hang out with my little cousin. And so she was 11 and I was, I don't know, what would that be like? How much older? So plus that. But anyways, she loved Miley Cyrus. But when it was like Hannah Montana. And so I knew Miley when it was Hannah Montana. And I'm like, yeah, go Hannah Montana. And then when she became like very like sexual, I was like, wow, what happened to Hannah Montana? But I was like, cool, I dig it. And we were in Panama when it first happened, when she got in trouble with the Robin Thicke. The VMAs, when she had that outfit, and then she took off the teddy bear, and it was like looked like she had on nothing, but it was like a nude bodysuit. And she was like grinding on Robin Thicke.
She used to come to Vegas a lot, and they're asking, "Are you in Vegas right now?"
I am in Vegas, yeah. And she used to, for the bangers thing that she had. One of her things was called. It was just that's funny. I guess that's what we didn't realize. Yeah. The weed thing is called a banger. We didn't know that, but it was like a bangers ball or whatever it was called. But she would have these things. They were at the clubs, and they were really big when she would be at the club or whatever and do these things. And they were doing it after she released that album or whatever. But so we've actually been following Miley for a long time. But and I saw the movie. I forget the name of it, but I'm like a huge Nicholas Sparks fan. So I knew about her when she was in the movie with her husband. That they got an ex-husband now. That one I don't think was the one she was in, because that's the one with Ryan Gosling and what's her name? Rachel McAdams, yeah. And then Miley was with Liam Hemsworth. Hers, I forget the name of that one, but I read all the Nicholas Sparks books, so I had read that book before they even did the movie, and then I saw the movie. And so yeah, so if you guys, and her dad, Billy Ray with a achy breaky heart. That was one of the most hated songs when I was a kid, so I was like, oh, that's his daughter, okay, so, yeah, you guys can call me Miley, that's not gonna hurt my feelings. I hope you're saying it as a compliment. All right, let me Papa Scott. But right now, I don't know, she seems like ever since she, her and her Liam broke up, and I think she might be on Ozempic or something, because she just looks, or like she keeps doing something to her face or something. It might be surgery, but she just, something looks weird now. I don't know if you guys have seen her recently, and I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be a hater in any way, but I'm like, what, something like is wrong with like, when people start doing like face surgery, it's hard to like them as much because they look a little bit clownish to me, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, you don't look like the way I knew of you to look for all those years, and I'm saying you're just older. It's like you something happened when they do like, because they're trying to look the same or look young or whatever, but sometimes like just let yourself kind of like age gracefully, because like she's not that old. I mean, she don't need to be doing, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know if it's something with the cheeks or something, because her cheeks are like really sunk in. It's, I don't know. It's some new thing the girls are doing, the Botox or the, I don't know. I don't do that kind of stuff, so unfortunately I couldn't afford that kind of stuff. That's LA. No, oh my gosh, you guys, so I gotta tell you. I feel like I need some chapstick.
Are you in San Diego right now?
Oh, I wish. I'm not in San Diego. Richard, could you go? You know what? You know my second drawer on the, you know, the thing. There's some chapstick or something. Can you see if you find it? You never know. He's not gonna find it. Like in my closet. He's not gonna find it. I don't know how to explain this. He's not gonna know what I'm talking about. He said, "Yeah, way too soon." Like if he had like asked a little more questions, I'd be like, "Oh, maybe he don't know." He said, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "No." All I said was second drawer. That could be a lot of things, but it is hard to explain because it's on top. It's this little. It's like a. I don't know what it is. It's one of those things that's for organizing things. You know, where it has like drawers that you pull out, and it's like a little file thing, but it's got like drawers. I don't know. I hope he knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, we just got back last night, very late, like much later than we wanted to, but we lollygagged for a bit, and we also hit. You found it! Oh my gosh, okay, I did not. Yeah, wow, I'm shocked. Because I didn't give you much direction on that. All I said was second drawer. I'm impressed. Yeah, which one do I want? I never know which one's better. I don't know. My mom always got Burt's Bee, but that one seems better. Burt's Bee. I like the Burt's Bee. I want the Burt's Bee. Go with what you know all those years, you know. Me and Richard think about it too. We're like, should we get a new? Everyone's saying you guys should get a new correction brake thing. We thought about it, you know, because now we're starting to be able to maybe replace some things. Because if we go to LA more often, when business is slow, I just go to LA, you know. Because we were just sitting here not knowing what are we gonna do? I can't go to New York every 2 seconds, and that's what I was doing, and it was just too much. So we thought about it. We go, but everything that you get that's new is crappier. So we're like, even though the thing is kind of gross, let's just make sure we clean it good, because it's hard to, like, if it's still working, like, we've done that, we've replaced the stuff, and it's always worse. That's the problem, is they're really making, and especially now with all the tariffs and taxes and things, like, things are gonna get worse and worse for the quality of it. You know what I mean? Where it's gonna be like, you would wish that you had not replaced the thing, you know what I mean? Like when people do like remodels all the time because they want something fresh and new, but you go like, ooh, the older thing actually worked really well. So it's like, it's kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now there's a lot of things that are broke here, but we're getting there, you know. But oh, hi Mark Fusion, and oh my gosh, Beth, and I haven't checked in with anybody on any level. I will in New York. I'll check in with everybody, and I hate that it's like, I don't mean to be like, shut everyone, but I just literally, when I'm here, I don't have time. Like, we are always doing something around, like, and it's, it could just even be me and Richard watching TV, but that's, you know, we need that quality time, you know, and then, but then usually it's like us running around, like, and now with these trips, I mean, we went to LA twice now in the last, because we went 1 week, and then we didn't go the next week, and then we went the next week, so that, I mean, we just went to LA like twice, and it was fabulous. I'll tell you guys all about it in a second. But I just realized, like, I don't have a lot of time. And like this morning we had to go, I had to work as soon as we got in, we didn't get home till probably like 10:30 p.m. I think it was. And then somewhere around there. And then, cause we hit some traffic, there was a couple accidents and stuff. So this time we hit a little traffic, but not too bad. And,
oh, right. Oh, they want an update on your rash. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you guys all about it. Hold on 1 second. Okay, yeah, let me just get to that because I keep losing my train of thought anyways. But that went completely away, and it went away when we got, so what day was that? Was that Thursday that happened? Was that yeah, because then I was worried because we were going to LA, right? Right. And so everything, it feels like a blur since that. Oh yeah, I was talking about like not talking to people. Like seriously, everything's been a blur. I can't even keep track. So that happened Thursday, and then I was worried about it, so I did not put on any socks on any level on the trip to LA. I wore these shoes, and this is what I wore actually the whole time in LA, except for when I was working. And then I just wore my sandal heels, so I didn't wear socks on any level. But I've actually am washing like all of my socks and all that stuff right now. All of my anything in any of my drawers I've been washing since I got home. I've been doing a bunch of laundry, and as besides all the stuff that we had. But I'm saying like anything that was in my drawer that I haven't like used or washed in a while. I'm like that's just that was crazy. But it went away like the next day. But I did have to put I kept putting like lotion, and I have that stuff that the VA had given me a long time ago when I had a rash for something else, and I figured it's probably the same because it was just a skin irritation, and I figured it's probably the same. So I just used the same cream, and it seemed to work. But yeah, by the time we got to LA, you couldn't see it anymore, and I was like, wow, thank goodness, because that was really scary because I don't know if you guys could see it. It was really gross, and then I forgot it even happened because then we were in LA, and it was just like we were working or we were doing something or and we went to the beach twice and got in the water twice, which was fabulous. We went to the Santa Monica beach because I like that one. But now I realize for reception, the Venice beach one is better. And we'll keep checking it. But there's only so many beaches that are going to be a little bit more quieter. Like you got to go to the nice ones, and then there's the really nice ones. But then those get I don't know, those get a little bit snooty, like some of that, but and then some of them get I think a little restrictive too. But if you go, I remember when I was a kid, we went to Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and those ones are just too many people and no parking. So the fact that these two beaches have had parking, I'm like, well, because we thought about should we check another one, and with the first day we go, man, we know that one has good parking, and we know that it's not a ton of people and stuff, and you can get in the water, and we're like, okay, let's so we were putting the maps over there, and then the next day I think we really should try another one, so we do Venice. But then we had actually already been to Venice, but for the sunset. But next time we probably need to check a third one because we've only now checked two, but both those are really good. So I'm nervous, because once you get to the beach, you probably don't want to pack up and go to another one, because especially if you found parking. And if you already paid for your parking, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, if you kind of know it's already a good beach, you kind of don't want to risk it. But so I do like the Santa Monica Pier, and I do like Venice Beach. But what's great about Venice Beach is it had really good reception when we were blogging. But the problem with Venice Beach is it was very heavily for surfers. Surfers dominated Venice Beach, where there weren't barely any surfers on the Santa Monica Pier area. Which is nice if you're boogie boarding, because it really sucks when you get in the surfer's way and they get really pissed at you too, and they can get hurt and you can get hurt, because what happens is the surfer is going at a different angle than a boogie boarder. A boogie boarder is just going forward. A surfer is going, so often they can be way over there and you think you're not going to collide, but as they ride a wave, they ride right into the boogie boarders, and you try to look out for him, but I get this one guy kept riding waves right into me. We didn't get anywhere where we were going to collide, but I just kept feeling like I was kind of in his way where he had to dodge me, and it just kind of made it uncomfortable because I try to be cognitive of other people around me. Other people are not so cognitive, but I'm one of those I can tell people are being irritated by me, so I'll kind of not want to be in that spot for as long. But I was really having a good time, but then I felt I'm in this, so I didn't feel that at the sun. So there's little things like that you notice at different beaches. And also, I found that the waves were much harder to catch at Venice Beach. They either broke way too far or way too close, where they were just these little tiny waves. I don't know if you saw the videos. It was riding these little dinky things, but it was some of them were breaking so far out, and that's where all the surfers were. They weren't supposed to be where the boogie boarders were, but they dominated the whole area. They were supposed to stay on their side, but they didn't, because we weren't on the surfer side. Oh, don't do that. I think they'd be get the heck out of here. But they come onto the boogie. It's not the boogie board side. It's considered the swim and boogie board side, and then the other side is the surf side. But it's frustrating because you don't want to like ruin their really good wave that like you're on a boogie board. It's like you can get anything for the most part. It's kind of like I mean, we used to bring my brother who's he has a very low IQ, they don't consider it mental retardation anymore, but that's what they used to call it. I don't know what the word is now for it, but he had that, and then he also is autistic. And he loved boogie boarding. Oh, and he could totally do it. So it doesn't take like a whole lot, but surfing is extremely difficult, and if you caught a wave and now there's boogie boarders in your way or someone's swimming or something, it can be frustrating for the surfer. And I feel bad, like, because I don't really need to, catch this little dinky wave or whatever I was on, So I'm sure my experience, even though I'm having a great experience, I'm sure it wasn't the same rush as riding a wave on a surfboard. So it's kind of one of those things.
Watching the videos now.
Yeah, there's certain beaches that are that way. So my dad loved this movie called Endless Summer 2. Well, there's an Endless Summer first one. But then there was an Endless Summer 2, which was more for when I was a kid. And it was all about that these guys that just love surfing, and they go all around the world trying to find like places where there's like no one surfing, where like they can be like the first ones there, or just not be like have tons of other people. Am I famous? Yes, I am. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. No, I never wanted to be famous, to be honest, because I like being able to, so even like right now I'm getting frustrated that I can't express myself as much as I used to because I will get doxxed. So I have a tiny bit of fame where people, if I find out what hotel I'm at, they'll...
Hey, you're in England right now.
Oh, England, someone's in England.
England says hi.
Who?
Oil.
Oil? Like the cooking oil?
I guess so.
Sorry, my ears are bad.
I'm sorry, Ollie.
Olive. I was like oil. Like
bit.
olive oil. Is it like from what is it?
Ollie.
What's it? Popeye? Okay. So we got this really good weed from California, if you guys can't tell. I needed it because I'm usually very grumpy. But it's called Jedi OG, and I told Richard we have to save some because I need to put it in the bong to experience it because I can't really smoke it. We had this pipe, that we have. The one it's the smoke air one, but pipes don't do it for me like the bomb, and I don't really get the experience. So the whole time we're in LA or when I'm in New York, I'm getting grumpier and grumpier each day because I'm not really getting the weed. And I did get some edibles. It helped a little bit, but those don't do the same for me either. But it did help.
You're also in You're in Holland right now.
Oh, I'm in Holland.
They say they have good weed there.
Oh, I would love to go to Holland.
The Flying Dutchman says hi.
Oh, the Flying Dutchman? That's wonderful, the Flying Dutchman. I would love to go. I've never been to Europe, you guys. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have a story for you guys. So, but anyways, I have so many stories today. So actually, I got a bunch of stories. So I'm not going to sit here like just twiddling my thumbs. My client was just talking about that he had taken his family on a trip to Europe about a couple months ago, and they went for like a month all over Europe. Because how much does the trip cost, you guys? $60,000. I was like, yeah, that's why I don't travel to Europe. But I'm like, I didn't know people went on vacations that cost that much. Like I mean, these people are very wealthy, but I'm like, I just didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was like a number that's like, that's just, oh yeah. I guess you learned something new. There's just different levels of people, of their wealth level. Not that people are different, people are the same. So people want to think they're better because they're wealthy. No, you just have more money than other people, so you're able to get better things probably, have a better life of like, pamper yourself, I would say. I don't know if pampering yourself is always a better life though, but I'm saying like in their idea of like, drive a nicer car, have a bigger house, la 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 la, keeping up with the Jones. But I think that's an insane thing. Like I was kind of like when people say things like that, I think sometimes those people are unaware how like the rest of the world is. Like you're just like, most people make for a year, you know?
Let's do it now. Gloria's gonna make the pork chops now.
That's what I was saying. Oh my gosh, you guys, I get so much.
No, just go on and move forward.
Yeah, I'm good.
We're making
Good.
pork chops now.
No, I'm always saying, so Richard is, always making the food to be helpful, but I say, why don't you once in a while, like Gloria, do some cooking just so she doesn't completely lose any purpose, just sit on the couch and just be spoon fed. I mean, then she's, basically already in a retirement home. So I say, sometimes let her cook, and Richard's like, I like cooking. I'm like, I know, but do you understand? Let her cook. He's like, oh, okay, I said. So Gloria's gonna make the pork chops. Because I think, so she doesn't like cooking as much as she was having to cook, but I think if we take away all of the cooking, she doesn't have a whole lot of purpose because that was her thing, was cooking for Annette. It was always cooking, throughout the years. And Annette was never eating, but Gloria was always cooking. We always laugh because Gloria would cook all this food and Annette was would never eat back then. And we'd always be like, what are you cooking for? But she would make it every day, for years, so it was sweet.
She makes the best. She's making them right now.
Okay, good, yeah. Good, that's what I was saying. She needs a little bit of sometimes not, because literally if we cook everything.
Somebody from Men in Black, someone said.
Men in Black? Which one? There was several.
Yeah.
I have a story with that. Okay. When I was a kid, I wasn't in dance for very long because my stepdad and it's too expensive and stuff. But one of the first years we did Men in Black was one of the songs that first movie had come out. I forget what year that was, but that was the dance that we did, and we had to have the outfits and everything and look like Men in Black. But it's just funny because it's just funny that someone would say that all these years later, because it's a really random movie to bring up. And I don't remember the characters in there at all besides Will Smith and what's the guy's name? What is it? What is his name?
Will Smith.
Is it James Earl Jones? Is it no? Or is that the? Oh, that's that.
That's Vader.
No.
You're thinking of Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. No.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. And Tommy Lee is the rocker, and then
No, wait.
James Earl Jones is the guy that's in the Sandlot, I think.
No, James Earl Jones is Darth Vader. Tommy
Yeah, that's
Lee
what I'm saying.
Jones is the guy who was in that sorority movie, and he was an agent, and he had to take care of the sorority girls in Texas. Remember, he was some sort of.
Oh yeah, who is it?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's that Varsity something. Yeah, they were in Texas. Yeah. He's Two-Face for Batman. Batman Forever. Anyways, we do reference all the older movies. So I'm 40. Okay, so it's day 33, no alcohol, and I was challenged more here, not in LA. It's funny. I'm trying to think if I was challenged at all in LA. I mean, I did talk to you guys a little bit on the blog. I don't remember what I said, and I wasn't lying then or lying now. I just don't remember. That's the one thing when you get older. You think you're going to remember everything, and you think people are lying when they get older, and you're like, oh, you're just lying. You just don't want to remember. You're like, no, you wish, but you just don't remember. Sometimes you don't remember because you remember some things, but some things that are not that important, you don't always remember. So you don't. But when you're young, I think you kind of absorb kind of everything, and it just stays longer, and then eventually goes away. But
hey, shalom from Israel.
Oh, shalom from Israel. Hello, everyone. I hope everything is going well. Huh?
That's the Middle East.
I know. I hope everything is going well there. I hope everything is just getting resolved and everything is going well. So, I know. All right. Anyway, so this is day 33, no alcohol, but it is 17 days till New York. And I'm excited to go to New York just because it is my last trip, but I am very kind of scared of the fact that I have to be challenged with the alcohol day in and day out there. So even if I don't drink, it's just every day is going to be a challenge, and that kind of just sucks, you know what I mean? So it's we're here, once we threw out that drink, it's out of sight, out of mind. But in New York, I was explaining this to Richard right before the blog, because he was saying, everyone can relate to, being challenged with the alcohol if they're an alcoholic. And I'm like, yeah, but what's hard with New York is like if I walked in Summerlin, it would take a long time for me to see anything that was alcohol related. I mean, like I could go for a pretty long walk and not see. I can't go 2 feet out of my hotel when I leave New York without seeing something alcohol related. And you're gonna see a million things before you get 2 blocks, basically, you know what I mean? And so when you're trying to not drink, it's just like a every single second. So that's why I say I just don't want to go anymore. Because I am a really bad alcoholic, I realized, because I thought I was stronger. Than when I saw the alcohol here, I just wanted to drink it. I didn't, but I just was like, I wanted to. Like, it was just like, and I said, I told Richard, I said, I keep opening the fridge and I like want to drink that. And he said, well, let me just go throw it out then. I said, well, thank you, please, because it's just like weird how much it still draws me in, and I don't like that about myself. I mean, I don't want to be that way, but I don't know how to not be. But I don't know, this New York thing has been a challenge, but it's been great at the same token too. So people think it's been all negative. Like, I'm really glad I went through this. I'm really glad I got to clearly see that on my own I would probably die from alcohol. Because
well done, girl. Good job.
Who said Vanessa?
Olesa.
Olesa. See, I have terrible hearing.
No,
I lost half my hearing in the Air Force. So if you guys don't know why I can't hear what he's saying, I lost half my hearing in the Air Force, and then I also have music in the ear that lost, but it's like I can't hear that ear anyways. But then the music helps me, but then it's also distracting. I don't know. My hearing is this thing where if there's too many things going on, I can't decipher at all. So when I was saying earlier when the fan was on, everything becomes a blur to me. Like, I don't hear the different sounds. It's just like everything goes to like nothing. So I have to focus on one of the things. So when I listen to my ears, how I shut out everything in the room, like that's how I go to sleep with those. I focus on the music, and that's all I listen to. But otherwise, I don't hear anything. I won't hear the music. I won't hear the TV. I won't hear. It's just all. It's like nothing. It's all if I don't like tune in. So my hearing takes a lot of concentration to hear, if that makes sense. Because I don't just hear. It's like I have to like focus and be like, what is being said? Like understand to hear. Because I have to like comprehend. Because I'll be like, I get what we're saying. Because I don't fully get always. So names are very hard, because like he said Olesa, and I heard like so I heard like Vanessa, you know, like it's like I heard Vanessa basically, and I assumed it was Vanessa, but that's why names I completely butcher, because and I'm not that great when I read them either, because I'm not that great with names, but when I hear them, even if someone says it to me, I'm even in person, it's very bad, and so. But I'll be like, write it down, because sometimes I have to ask people to write down their name, because I can't comprehend it with my hearing, and it's not their accent or my accent. It's me hearing. A lot of times it's how loud their voice is or something, or how they talk, if they accentuate certain things, you know. But some people are so. They call like the Ben Stein thing, the monotone. Then it's harder for me, because if you give me like expression, then I can kind of like figure out a little bit what you're saying. But when it's all the same, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. And are you happy or you're mad? I'm not sure. I've done that with Richard. I'm like, I'm not hearing what you're saying, but are you happy or mad right now? Like, I guess I'm literally not getting the context, but can't tell with your expression if that you're angry or happy. Like, because like sometimes if like we're stoned too, it's harder to tell expression. But yeah, we really like the weed in California, but it's much more expensive there, and the weed here is not bad in Vegas, you know, but it's definitely really good. Everything's better in California. Like the meat there is better, and so it is a little frustrating to come home to Vegas, but it also is good at the same token. Okay, so let me tell you guys about the trip. So we left, I don't know, it was around 9:30, 10 a.m. somewhere around there on Friday, and I think I drove first. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did, and then yeah, you guys watch. Yeah, I think I drove first, and we did the vlog. That's right. and then Richard drove into LA. And we were all packed up. Oh, you guys saw all that. It worked great. We got to the hotel just like flying time, like even better than the first time on the way there. Like the way there was just fabulous. And we checked into the hotel, no problem, and it all went so well. And I ended up working the first day, and that was good. So that's always good because it's a little scary. I'm only there 3 days, so I was like, ah. And then the next day we went to the beach and we had so much fun. We had so much fun. So Richard had to send his boogie board. He was able to cancel the other one before it got shipped here. And he had to send his boogie board, because we ordered those on Amazon, you get a better deal. Oh no, we ordered them at Walmart, that's right. We ordered them at Walmart, that's right. Because we got them for the Walmart deals. But when they had those deal days or whatever, we got a great deal on those boogie boards. And so we had it shipped here, but it wasn't going to arrive in time. But Richard was able to cancel it before it arrived. So it got shipped to the hotel, and it was there when we arrived. So we went, and we had so much fun. And I think it's really healing us. And even Richard's like, he has major problems. It's like, why people make fun of why he's got little calves is he has pain in his leg that's making him walk not perfect, which causing certain parts to be smaller than other parts because he's not working out certain muscles. Because, you know, if you nurse certain muscles, they become smaller. And if you do it for a very long time, you get other ones become stronger and other ones become smaller that you're not using properly. And it starts to hurt if you're not using those muscles like you're supposed to, you know, if there's, so that happens with people that injure themselves and they, you know, limp. I have that happens with my feet, but not as bad as his. With his leg is really bad. And he said being in the ocean like really helped. Like his leg is feeling much better. Like the ocean is very healing, and the boogie boarding is really good because it's swimming, but it's also you have to like really you get tear up with the waves. That's what I was saying. Venice Beach was much more tears you apart. So you guys saw me at both the video. Like it was just when I was first going out there because it was like really hairy. If you got further out, and then the surfers were a little further out, and Richard went a little further out, and he actually bent his board already, like Venice Beach. And I realized it is hairy there because they do the championship thing stuff. That they had some sort of competition there when we were leaving. I wish we had a little more time, but we needed to get home. We didn't get home till like 10 as it is, somewhere around there, maybe 9:30. I can't remember. I'm so bad with numbers. Of just like remembering exact things. But I drove the rest of the way home. So Richard drove for the first like I think like hour and a half, and then he was really tired and I wasn't, and I was like, you know what, let me drive for a while and then we'll switch off again. But then it's only like I think it was like this time like maybe a 4.5, maybe 5 hour drive. But like after I was already like so long in it, like I actually like driving. I was like, because he was resting and I was like, I'm just gonna keep driving. So I ended up driving the rest of the way home, and I had a really good experience until, well actually it all worked out, but right before I was coming into Vegas, there was some sort of, I thought it was an accident because luckily the maps told me what was going on, but we came to like it went from like 3 lanes to 1. And it was just construction. It is irritating. But if I hadn't had maps, I would have like freaked out because it felt like we were going to be there for a long time. But if you look at your maps, it says like it's going to be like a 20-minute thing. You're like, okay, I can handle that. And I'm like, technology really has made it better. So for you youngins, you guys don't know what it was like before. We're like, if you saw traffic, you didn't know how long traffic was going to have you delayed. So like you could be like, is this traffic going to be a 5-minute delay or a 5-hour delay? You know what I mean? Because everyone was pretty much stopped, you know, when it comes to like from 3 to 1, you're like, you know, from like 80, everyone's going from 80, 90 miles, 100. The people fly on the highways. Oh my gosh, I'm like a safe driver. I'm like, you know, everyone's like, go, speed demons. And, but they're flying around and then it goes like dead stop. And you're like, oh, good God. But I can't stand this driving. I don't use cruise control. I don't like cruise control. I've never used cruise control. I just like driving. I don't know. I like having my foot on the gas. I mean, a really, really long drive, but I don't know. I've done like 8-hour drives. I've never used cruise control. 8-hour drives straight. I mean, I only stopped for gas or to go pee. I don't stop like to get food. Like I'm not like one of those, oh, let's stop at a restaurant I don't know where it's. I'm like, no, let's keep rolling. And I don't like to rest if I don't have to. Like, me and my dad, we do these like 64-hour trips. We do like one sleep for that barrel through. But the cruise control drivers are so irritating because they ride you, and they swerve around, and they like all the way to like get so close to everybody and almost cause accidents every 2 seconds. And I'm like, just take it off the cruise control for a second, okay? Go around. Not gonna kill you. Take it off cruise control. They're trying to not, so they're trying to drive like maniacs. Don't turn off the cruise control. Dodge everybody. Can't stand it. But anyways, Richard took a good nap, and I liked it. I was listening to my music. It's great because I listen on my headphones now, because otherwise I used to listen in the car, and then it would be irritating as someone sleeping. Because he doesn't, it's so funny, he can fall asleep to TV, but not to music. I can sleep to music, crazy. TV, not a chance. Because it's like, if it has a storyline or if someone's talking, I start listening. I'm like, what are they talking about? You know? But music, I can kind of tune out, especially the song I already know. They're like, oh, your song just came on. It was like California Girls by Katy Perry. That just came on. I am a California girl, if you guys don't know. I was born in California. And I grew up in California. I lived in California from 0 to 17. I left to the Air Force from Los Angeles. Like, that's where it says, you know, my place, your departure place, whatever it's, I forget what it says. But it's Los Angeles. And I think it was like downtown Los Angeles. I can't remember. My dad and stepmom took me. I took my little blue backpack, and I remember they dropped me off. I remember being like, I hope this isn't like the biggest mistake of my life. And it's questionable. No, I don't regret my military experience. I had a good time. I like it, and I'm glad that I did it. And not just a good time like, oh, it was so fun and games. No, I mean, it's a good time in the sense of when you feel like you're doing it, when you, I don't know, if you feel like you're doing things for your country, and if you're learning things, like when you know, you feel like you're just doing the right thing, you know, you feel good. Like, I felt good when I was in the military, like always. Like, I felt proud, you know, if that makes sense. And, you know, it was right after 9/11, so there was a big sense of patriotism. And I felt very proud when I would wear my uniform, you know? And so, you know, it was a shame how everything happened, how it went. And I could have stayed in. But I didn't fit in anymore after my mom died. Like, it just kind of changed me. So it was just hard to kind of, in the military, you have to be very much like, you can't be an individual, you know? You have to be like everybody else. And once you become very different, it's hard to do that anymore. Like, because I used to be able to. I never really was like everybody else. I was kind of weird, but, you know, I was good at being perfect, of like, you know, organized and clean, and, you know, getting the high honors of everything, and, you know, doing well in school. But once my mom died, I didn't care about like that kind of stuff as much. So it was hard for me to have the motivation as much to be like, oh, I want to be this go-getter, you know what I mean? And so I just was like, you know, this really isn't for me anymore, because, you know, they grounded me, which meant I could still be in the Air Force. People keep thinking, it just meant I had to retrain for being a flyer again. And it meant I could be a flyer again, too. I just had to retrain. So grounded means you're flying. So when you fly, you have to stay current. And I became an instructor that keeps people current. This was frustrating. I was an instructor. I was on the AWACS plane. I was an airborne surveillance instructor, a 1 Alpha 451, I think it was, if I remember. It's been a long time. I was in from 2002 to 2006. So I did my 4 years, and I have an honorable discharge. People were trying to say all this crazy stuff, which is very rude because I am a veteran. I go to the VA whenever if something happens. I only go. They always want me to come to like checkups. I have a primary care. Oh, I'm so bad. They call me and they send me notices. You need to come. I hate going to the doctor unless I have to, but I do use their facility if it's an emergency. You know, I will go to the emergency room. But anyways, it's way out there, North Pecos. It's a great facility here in Vegas, but it's so far. It's so far. It's in North Las Vegas over there, I think it's considered. Oh, it's a beautiful facility though. But anyways, I just, I keep losing my train of thought, but I think I was saying, oh yeah, so I was a airborne surveillance instructor. What happens is I was helping people get their status back, and then I was actually about to instruct a student on that flight, and when I got pulled off the flight, it was like, oh, now you have to start over at the beginning. And it was just frustrating to me because I was like, I was the one training people, so, I have to start all the way at the beginning. Like, because you understand, like at the very beginning, like they wanted 2.5 years more of training. And I'm like, that's like basically starting over everything because I'm only in for 4 years. Like if I re-enlist, it's 4 years, and for 2.5, I have to spend it doing the exact same thing I basically just did. Like all the classes I just took, take them again. But I've taken them like twice now because as an instructor, you refresh and take them again. So it's like when you first learn your job, you learn X amount of classes, and and you learn tons of stuff, like all kinds of book stuff, and just different things about the job and different things about the plane and stuff, and emergency stuff and stuff. And then you kind of forget stuff as you're doing your job. You get lazy, you remember the things that you have to remember, but some of the stuff, as everyone forgets some of the stuff that you learned in school about your job. But then when you go into instructor training, you refresh and you go through it all again. And then now, right after that, I could only be instructing for, I don't remember how long, not that long. X amount of months. It wasn't over a year. And now they're like, oh, now start all the way at the beginning. Like back then, I'm like, I just don't feel like sitting in a classroom again. Like I want to be on the plane. I want to be doing my job. I didn't come into the Air Force to sit in a classroom. I would have gone to college for that, which I probably should have done. So I went in the Air Force because of 9/11 and because I want to be a pilot. That was the biggest thing. So I was going to go to college. I could have gone to college. That was not an age for me. I had a 4.0 in high school. I graduated high school a year early. I was very studious in school. It's not that I'm that smart. It's just I was one of those kids that everyone hated that studied and did all the homework and extra credit and not to warm up to the teacher. I just was like one of those people I just want to do it because I want to have 120% if we can have that. And everyone's like, no one else is doing it. So I would ace finals when they'd be graded on a curve. Well, now they're not going to be graded on a curve if you get every question right. So people are like, Joy, if you just didn't have to be so perfect, So I used to hear that, and now it's so funny because now everyone's the opposite with my life. But once my mom died, that's what happened. Is I don't feel like being perfect anymore. I don't feel like going back to training again and sitting in the classroom and going through all that, because training is much more difficult in the sense of they're just stricter. You often have to be wearing your blues for class, where I get to wear my flight suit when I'm flying, and blues are not comfortable. You're very uncomfortable. I don't know if you guys know. Oh, and they're not attractive. If you ever see a girl look good in blues, unless you know that she's a military person, but I'm saying in the movies, they are making them have much nicer outfits than we get, because there was actually one girl that looked good in her blues that I ever saw, and that girl, she was just the most phenomenal looking girl anyone ever seen in anyone's life. So this girl, I'm like, how did you end up in the military? Because there's pretty, and then there's military pretty, usually. And you're you're just everywhere pretty. Usually it's you're pretty hot for a military girl. But that's what I used to hear. But this girl was just she was model. And this is the only girl I've ever seen look good in blues. They're terrible. There's the skirt, the pleats on it, and the pants, the pleats. There's no way they're trying to make a girl look cute. They're terrible. They're awful. For the Air Force blues, for girls, it's awful. And then, they're so bushy. They're not tight. They're the guys have these nice tight slacks. The girls, I think they don't want to have them be tight in case the girls, I don't know. feel self-conscious. I don't know. So they're like, they have like where they bunch up in certain spots, or like in the butt they bunch up, and like not like it's like if you're too thin. It's just that's how they're like it's like this pleat thing. So they're really weird, and they look terrible. They look terrible, and they're not comfortable. And the shoes are not comfortable. Those little black things. Oh, so that's what you have to do, like when you go in training, or you have to do your camouflage, your BDUs. But like when you fly, you get to wear your flight suit, which is you zip it up, good to go. Throw it in the washing machine. I used to throw it in the washing machine and air dry it, and I had a couple of them. So you have several washing, and you wear one and then grab one that's already dry, because they take a minute to dry. That's the only thing. You shouldn't put them in the dryer. But the other things you have to iron and stuff, or get pressed. But that's why I was like, I just don't feel like doing all that. Like, I'm like, no, I'm over that. No. But that's why people think I had dishonorable. No, I just didn't want to reenlist. I was going to, too, until the whole thing happened where they grounded me when they... So what happened is, I don't like to talk about it too much because I can actually get a little in trouble for talking about it on YouTube, but how my mom died. But they were worried that I might do the same to myself, which she did. So when this one commander who didn't know me, but other people already knew, is what makes me mad. It wasn't like this thing where no one knew, and it was top secret. It was like my commanders that were supposed to know knew, which was the flight commander, the squadron commander, and like do you have like one other one? The base commander didn't know, because he's like a general. He doesn't need to know about my personal life. But the ones that are in your squadron and your flight. So and then my commander of like my my crew, because I flew with a crew. You fly with the same crew, and people like that knew. How my whole crew knew and stuff, But and like my supervisor, like people that should have known. But what happened is one of those people changed. So they changed the squadron commander. And usually the squadron commander doesn't even know everybody. But my squadron commander knew me because I had gotten a bunch of awards. And I got like senior airman below the zone. And I got airman of the quarter. And I got like all these physical fitness awards. And room inspection awards for having like the best room for the room inspection. Dumb stuff like that. But so they give you these awards so they get to know you, but if you get awards. But the other guy had just come in, because that guy went to, his name was Colonel Mazzelli. He went to the Pentagon because he was such a great commander. And then they brought in this guy named Colonel Ferguson.
Kix donated $2 to ask if you're on fentanyl.
Fentanyl? Oh, no. Kix? I am not on fentanyl, no. I've never done fentanyl, no thank you. I don't know why people do that drug, to be honest. It seems like it's something that's very destructive. But I don't mean to judge people, because I know I have my things that I struggle with. My thing is alcohol and food addiction. I don't struggle with drugs. I just never got into them because I struggled with those other two things that took up enough of my mind in time. So it was like people go, oh, how could you not do drugs? Well, if you're focusing on like food addiction or alcohol, you're pretty preoccupied. You're not like drugs don't, I mean, some people mix all those things together, but for me, those two were enough. Like those two, I'm like, I'm good to go, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I didn't, but I like weed. So I call myself California sober because I'm 33 days, no alcohol, but, and no other drug, just weed. So weed is the only thing I've had for 33 days.
Howard says what they're mistaking your voice for is your years of doing the eating.
Yeah, I did eating disorder for Anna, and it's so dry. Yeah, so I did the eating disorder for many years.
Vocal cords.
Mm-hmm. Why I sound like Miley Cyrus, and probably why Miley Cyrus sounds like Miley Cyrus, is because we both struggle with the same eating disorder.
Another $2 donation from Kix has a pigtail addiction now.
Oh, okay, that's nicer. The pigtail, I'll take that. Okay, I'll do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight. It was hard for me to do because I didn't stop my music. It's funny. it's hard to do music with other music. But anyways,
and also I knew one. They say you sound a little like Little Wayne.
Little Wayne, I'll take it. No, me and Miley and probably a lot of these people, maybe even Little Wayne, probably all suffer from the same addiction that destroys your vocal cords, and that's the eating and purging. And I'm not going to get into the specifics of it too much because it's frowned upon to talk about. But I did that for so many years that, oh, you guys, my voice used to be insanely worse. Like, I wouldn't even be able to do a blog at all. Like, it would just, like, break the entire time I spoke. So, like, every word would be, like, a break in the word. And then I'd have to try to say it again, like, take a gulp and, like, try to say, like every word. And they would, like, people would be like, did you lose your voice at a concert? Are you sick? Do you have laryngitis? I mean, always. I mean, people comment on my voice now, but this was a constant thing. And I felt so irritated about it. Like I was like, why are people? And then I looked it up. I read about it, and I'm like, I want to tell people what it is, like, because I knew it was my eating disorder, but I'm like, I want a reason of, like, why my voice is this way and have them stop bragging on me. And I look it up, and I'm like, there's no reason for your voice to be hoarse by nature unless you destroyed your vocal cords. And there's very few ways to destroy your vocal cords, and it's not from singing. So a lot of these singers that you think lost their voice from singing, they often probably had the same eating disorder that I struggle with, because it's extremely common with the celebrities. And I get frustrated when singers say they lose their voice from singing, because it's actually, what happens is they do this eating disorder, and then throughout the years, they can't sing anymore. And it's happening to more and more artists. And so Miley has been doing it, I think, since she was very young, because she's been a star since she was like a baby. I think I was seeing something like on YouTube one time, because I actually really like Miley. It's funny someone said that, because I actually like Miley. And I was something that came up where she was extremely young, like I want to say 3, 4, and they were already like having her kind of like audition for things or something. I mean, so her parents made her a star immediately because her dad was already famous. So I don't know how young her first like gigs were, but she has been a star. So what that means is often stars mature, not necessarily like that they're fully mature, but they're experiencing things that they shouldn't when they're young, because they're working, so like they're maybe getting alcohol young, maybe they're experiencing eating disorders young, maybe they're experiencing drugs young, maybe even something sexual young, which is really bad. Well, all those things are bad, but they are, because they're around adults more, and now it's getting a lot more like rules on that. But that's where there's a lot of things that happened in the past that are, really bad with the child stars, and so Miley probably got an eating disorder very young, because she's had that hoarse voice for a long time. But I imagine she got an eating disorder pretty young because she was on TV. And I know I started worrying about my weight extremely young. I mean, people can be surprised. It can happen. Like, I remember being probably like 5 or something and being aware, so it is crazy how young people can be. And what's unfortunate is every year that you do it, the younger you are, the more chance you're going to damage more stuff, because you haven't fully grown. Like, you haven't even fully matured to where you need to be. So like maybe your vocal cords haven't even fully matured, and now you're going to damage them. Or like maybe your brain hasn't fully matured and you're going to do these hard drugs, or like there's certain things that can be very destructive to children or younger people because they haven't fully matured. And so I'm not a big fan of the child star thing. I think it's a little bit wrong, because it's weird how you can't have children work in any other way, but if they're a singer or a dancer or a movie star or TV or whatever, then they can be babies, like the Olsen twins. And it's just kind of weird because it's a lot of pressure. I know I like people. I'm like all about those pop singers like Selena Gomez, because also my cousin I was talking about earlier, her name is Sherry. She loved Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus. And so those two have always kind of stuck in my head a bit. And she kind of liked Demi Lovato a little bit. But, and it's just funny because I still have like stuck with those ones, and I don't even think I would have ever fully adapted to those two had it not been my little cousin. And I didn't spend that long with her, but it's funny how kids will watch the same thing over and over. You know, you guys know that have kids. So I remember it was the Selena Gomez Cinderella movie. My cousin watched that every day, but like at least 10 times a day. And I was like just hanging with her. That was kind of what I was supposed to do. Like, because my aunt actually suffers from schizophrenia. And they said, you know, it'd be really helpful if you could just kind of like come hang with Sherry, because my aunt sometimes really goes off the deep end. And my cousin was just kind of, she was getting very weird of just like, they're very wealthy, but she just would sit in this huge house by herself, you know. And my uncle is extremely intelligent. He designs computer chips, but they're all in the house, but they don't socialize together. So he just sits in his office all day and all night on the computer. And he's been doing that since like the 70s or 80s. And they used to live in Costa Mesa, and now they live in Vancouver, Washington. But he's like insanely intelligent, like where it's like, it's hard to talk to him. He's like insanely intelligent. But my aunt is like off the deep end. And they just like hang with her. So we would just sit there and like watch TV and stuff. And I lived there, but it was during a time that I was working, but I had free time, you know. And so if I had time, I would just go sit with her, you know. We would just watch TV. And so we would watch that Selena Gomez Cinderella movie over and over. And then Hannah Montana. All of the episodes. Oh, if it was a new one, oh my gosh. Oh, and she would tell me all about everyone. Oh, it's Miley Cyrus. It's Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter, and I didn't even know any of this stuff, you know. And she was cluing me in on this stuff. And then when Selena started dating Justin Bieber, and my cousin was like, I don't know, they were all, oh my god, this is all this stuff. So it was cute. But I don't have kids, but I've had a lot of different times that I've spent time with like relatives that were younger. So like my family had they have weird things where people have family all different times than other people, you know. So I have like cousins that were way younger. So it's the same thing happened with my dad's uncle. I spent a lot of time with his son, who's also a younger cousin, where my uncle drives truck. And so they said just be in the house, because he was still in high school, and they said he shouldn't be alone if he's in high school. So it's basically be in the house. But that kid I never saw. He was one of them gamers. I never saw him. I mean, sometimes like, I hope he's still like alive in there, because I would never see him. I'd kind of be like, okay, I heard a noise, because like, I'd be like, and I'd see sodas removed from the fridge. I'd be like, say what?
Adriana stopped in to say hi.
Oh, hey, Adriana Lally. This kid just drinks sodas all day, and I don't know if he ate. I don't know, because I think he got his own food probably. I don't even know. But sodas would remove from the fridge. That's all I'd see, and then I'd be like, is he okay in there?
Have you done treatment for your eating disorder?
Say what?
Have you ever done treatment for your eating
Okay,
disorder?
so I have done some levels of treatment for my eating disorder, but it's too expensive for the expensive ones. But what happened is I actually was going many, many years ago, and then it was just insanely expensive. It was $1,000 a week. And there was a girl that was paying for me. It was my sister's friend, just had volunteered, because she was like one of them trust fund babies. But then she was like, nah. After like, I think it was like a week or two, she's like, nah, it's too expensive. And I was like, yeah, it's too expensive. I mean, I can't afford that. But I found that doing the protein helps me with my eating disorder. But what happens when I go to New York is I'm more challenged with the alcohol than my eating disorder these days. But when I get off of the alcohol, I find that I'm very much craving sugar. Where normally when I'm doing just the protein, I'm not like constantly like thinking about food and wanting food, so it's very irritating. But I'm starting to feel that it's kind of going away. Like day 33, I'm not feeling that like crave for like the sugar. Like I'm finally feeling like satisfied when I eat, you know. And I was saying like it's very hard. when you're having to be bombarded with the thing that you are addicted to, and New York is a constant bombardment of my two addictions, of food and alcohol. So whether it be, if I avoid one, then I probably go the other way. Does that make sense? So I go, oh, if I don't drink, then I'll struggle with the food one. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm gonna just read off. I'm gonna just read off the super chats. They're not particularly nice, but they're paying, so I gotta read them. Okay. I will give you $2 if you shut up.
Oh, okay.
$2.
I appreciate the $2. Thank you for the $2.
Kicks Mechanic said for $2 says sandwiches filled with Fent or regular heroin. Okay.
That would be terrible to do to somebody.
And Kicks Mechanic $2 says we all know you can't be a part of the chest fund. There you go.
No, yeah.
Those are your
I wasn't supposed to be a part of the trust fund, you guys. No, what happened was my sister's friend is a trust fund baby, so she just has all of this money, and she volunteered because I said, no, I do not want you to pay for it, because she knew that I was sick. This is many years ago. This is before I knew Richard. This was like a million years ago. She said, I want to pay for your treatment because I want you to get better. And I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever done. But then it wasn't long that she's like, this is too expensive, which I'm like, I knew it was going to be too. But she knew, but then I think when you really like see that, you're just like, yeah, that's a lot of money. So.
Lori Beth is the one who asked the question, and she said, I went to Renfrew. They have a dual treatment program for eating disorders and drug alcohol use. That's Lori Beth.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but I found when I do the protein, it's good. But I just struggle in New York. And so if I stay in Vegas and in LA, I'm not struggling. But in New York, it's just this constant battle. And that's why I'm just like, I'm just not going to go to New York anymore. But I do have to go one more time. And that's why I'm still kind of talking about it. But I'm hoping after this final New York trip, then I don't want to like talk about this forever, you know what I mean? Because it's going to be like, okay, now I'm day 1,000,000, because this is going to be the last time I'm challenged with the alcohol, where I know that I might be challenged in the sense of like temptation, but New York is where I really am challenged, because I'm there for 12 days by myself, and that's the part that's really difficult for someone like me who's an alcoholic. And I do tend to get very sad there because that's where my mom's from, and so I've been sad, you know, ever since my mom died. So I get sad in that city, and then I'm already an alcoholic, and then I'm there by myself, and I'm away from my family. And as fun as the city is, it is a constant battle day in and day out there, whereas here it's not. So it's like, just don't, if you can choose, don't put yourself in that setting anymore. And that's what I'm choosing. But unfortunately, I do have one trip. And I'm glad I'm going, because I think that one trip's going to be necessary, not for the alcohol thing, but for finances. But after that, it's just going to be LA. And that's how I'm really taking like a hold of like my sobriety, of like, yeah, I might break it one more time, because I don't know if I can, but I don't know what's going to happen in those 12 days in New York, because I'm saying it's every day is a battle for me. And I get lonely, and I hope it's like a white knuckle every day there, where here it's not, you know what I mean? Here to get 33 days is pretty easy, but even seeing it in the fridge here, that's why I get nervous, because when I see it in the fridge, I'm like, oh, you know, and it's like an open can already, and you literally, like, I felt like the urge to like want to drink it. I didn't, but it's like, the fact that that's still like an urge at day 33 is frustrating to me, because then I go, oh gosh, this is going to be tough.
Misa, Petrick.
Nisa, hi Nisa, yeah.
Misa there.
Misa? Misa, hi Misa. Sorry, I can't hear you guys know. But so what I'm choosing to do is just not go to New York. But LA was fabulous for health. I did not feel the urge to drink. I think I felt a little bit when I was packing, but then it went away. I think that's what I had mentioned. It's such a blur. Everything happens so fast. It's crazy when we go to LA. It's such a whirlwind, because we leave Friday and then we're back by Sunday. And so it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. We're in another state, and then we're back. And so I'm from California, from Northern California, but I did spend some time in Southern California, because my dad lived in Southern California from when I was 10 to 17, and he lived in Lakewood, which is right near Long Beach, and we went to the beach a lot, but we always boogie boarded. I never got into surfing. I did surf a bit in Oregon, which is terrible, but I never surfed in California, which is crazy, but it's hard. It's very difficult. And like I said, it's wild out there. There's a lot of competition of like, you don't want to be, okay, I talk about don't want to be flapping around on the boogie board. You definitely don't want to be on a surfboard getting in everybody's way and somehow messing up the other surfers. Oh dear. Yeah, that's no good. So when I tried to surf, there was no one there because, yeah, no one's going to get in the Oregon water. I mean, you have to put on so much gear, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I was like, what was the point of that? I mean, when I came out, everything was like blue, like my fingers and my toes. And I was like, this can't be good. And I went into one of those, those public restrooms that they have, by parks or whatever. And they have those hand dryers. And I just put my hands and my feet under the dryer because my boyfriend at the time, his name was Chris, was still surfing. And get out of here, out of your mind. I surfed for like, a whole of probably 20 minutes. And we kept going out. Because you'd be like, let's try it again. You can do better this time. And I hated it, but I tried to be supportive, I don't want to be one of those non-supportive girlfriends of like, I hate your sport that you're into. But I hated surfing in Oregon. I mean, I would be so hoping he missed the alarm clock because we would have to get up at like 2 a.m. to get to these spots. And you'd be like, oh, we Mary, and it's so cold. And it's cold when we leave Portland, and then it's cold wherever the heck we go on the coast. It's much, much colder. And the stormier the better, because he wants big waves. He's like this big time surfer. Oh, you have a great time. And I'm like, please let him sleep through the alarm. Oh, of course not. The whole time I'm just like, please let something happen. Please let something happen. I don't have to surf today. So I finally, every time I'd be getting there for like, as long as like, I finally would be like, okay, I think that's good enough. And he'd be like, you want to get back in? I'm like, nope, of course not. One time's good each trip. I don't remember how many times we went, but I think I broke up with him because I was like, I just can't do this surfing thing anymore. Like, I was like, I can't. It's so terrible in Oregon. It's so cold, you guys. I mean, it's so cold. There's no one in the water. But us two. I mean, no. It's terrible. It's insanely terrible cold. It's crazy. I was like, no. But he liked the colder back because he was like, he'd been from like, I think Virginia or somewhere. I don't know. Does Virginia have coast? Somewhere over there. And he swam where it was really cold. He surfed. Get out of here. I used to date all these athletic guys, and I get over it because I'd be like, I'm a little bit athletic, but I'm like kind of lazy athletic. Like, I'm like, you guys see me with my workout. I dated like this bodybuilder. Oh, get the heck out of here with that. He wanted me to work out like him. I was like, it's not gonna happen. He gets so mad. He yelled at me. I don't like this. I'd be like, I don't like this. I think you're my boyfriend, and I don't appreciate this. I think maybe your friends like this, or your people you train, because he was a trainer. So it don't work for me. I don't appreciate this. It's not gonna motivate me if you keep yelling at me. I'm not one of those. He's like, I have to train you. I was like, no, I don't think that's gonna work. Your friend trained me, because they were all trainers, and he wanted to train me. Be yelling at me. I was like, no. He's like, do more squats. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm good on the squats. Doesn't work. No, I think I'm good. Doesn't. Now I'm really good now. Keep doing it. I don't like this game. I don't like that. There's people that they do that with the celebrities, have someone like motivate them. I'm not a fan. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Get out of here. So, yeah, I've never. And then, my sister's really into hiking. I'm just not that into hiking. Or bicycling. I like walking flat. I love walking flat. Or like in New York, I like walking around New York City, except for, fortunately, can't anymore. I like walking around California now. I like walking on the beach and things. But New York, unfortunately, as much as I like walking around, it's like constant temptations, and now it's not so fun. But I do like the city in New York. If it's not a time that it's where it's a temptation is it's like your free time, But if I'm like going to work, then it's, more fun. Or if I have a destination, or if I'm going to block. But it's when you're like, oh, I'm just killing time, that's when the temptation comes. So there are times that it's just super fun walking around New York because I'm just, doing whatever and not thinking about alcohol or food. But during the times that I'm, have nothing going on and I'm lonely and I'm bored and maybe Rich is sleeping over here because I'm like always on the phone with Rich too. But then he'll have to sleep because it's different hours there. I'm, 3 hours ahead. I haven't changed my clock. I have this little clock. I don't use it for anything in the sense of like, I set my alarms on my phone, but it's a little tiny alarm clock, but I like to have a clock that has the numbers and in actual like lines where I can glance at the time. Like I hate that everything's digital now, so I like the old school little clocks, and I like it ticks. And I don't know how. It's like, I guess I grew up with that. And it makes, and it's so loud. It ticks like it sounds like I have like a bomb in my bag. Cause like packed with it ticks because it's a battery operated. It's really loud. It's like a little clicky. But I like it because I like being able to just like look. So I realize in a lot of the hotels they don't put alarm clocks anymore. So you can pick up your phone always, but that's the only way you know your time, because they have clocks in there. There are no alarm clocks in most of the hotels. It's so weird. I mean, they're getting so chintzy they take out everything. Well, and they figure it's not just a chintzy thing. They figure that with people's phones, a lot of things are not needed anymore. So they're getting rid of things that, like alarm clock, because people set it on their phones. You know what I mean? And so they're removing the things, and then it does save them some money. But some of the things I'm still like, I want an alarm clock in my hotel room so I can see the time. When I walk in the room, I want to be like, what time is it? Because I don't always, my phone's in my bag or something. And in New York, sometimes it's cold. And if you pick out your phone, you're going to drop it, and then the screen's not on anyways, and you got gloves on or whatever, and so you just want to be like, what time is it, No one has clocks anymore. I'm like old school. I used to love like cuckoo clocks. We were really into clocks. My stepbrother Sean is insanely into clocks because he's autistic, and he's obsessed with time. Like obsessed with it. Like everything has to be on a time in his life, and he gets very frustrated when it can't be. And as he's gotten older, he's, I don't know, adjusted, he's in a home now, unfortunately, but maybe so he hasn't, but he had like where he would only go to the bathroom at certain times, and so he would spoil himself, and so I don't know if he still does that. I don't really have contact with my stepmom, so I don't talk to my stepmom. But what was I talking about? I'm totally losing my train of thought. I'm actually really stoned. We had this thing called a Jedi OG, and it's such good weed, but we only got a tiny bit because it was way more. It was like more for an eighth there than we pay for like a quarter here, and it's like ridiculous. So we only got a tiny bit, and I said, just save a little so I could do the mall, and that's what I did, and now it's pretty much gone. And I really thought that was really good weed. But I think we did some right before we left California, and then we kept like forgetting. It took us like forever to get home, in the sense because we kept like doing different things. We were like, oh, we have to stop to this, and it would just take forever. We had a couple stops, so we did, like we got gas, but then we didn't like the one gas station. They didn't have they kept not having restrooms was the biggest thing. And then Richard wanted, okay, this was the thing. They didn't have restrooms or a microwave. So Richard wanted to microwave his hot dogs that he had gotten, that we forgot to cook before we left. And so he was going to microwave them in like a gas station microwave, because they were those, already cooked, but you could do microwave. And then we were going to get gas. But we went to 2 gas stations before we finally just were like, let's get gas and let's figure this out later. But they didn't have a microwave or a restroom for customers. And it was a Chevron and a Shell. And I'm like, you don't have a restroom for customers? Like, 7-Eleven never does. But I'm like, it's just crazy, because it was like on a route where people stop, if they're traveling. It's kind of like, it's just kind of crazy. Because, like, we really needed the restroom. And it's just like, this is crazy. So we ended up having to go, like, 3 places to get a restroom. And then Richard did find a place that had a microwave. And I first went in, and I was like, hey, this place doesn't look like it has a microwave either. Because it was like a little tiny place. They were really small. And then Richard ended up asking, and it was like this tiny little thing which I would have never seen in the corner. And so he did microwave his hot dogs. But, and then we, stopped to switch and like took some photos, and we just had a great time. We had a real nice cruise back. So when we got back, Casper was doing great. Like, I thought he was going to be mad at us, because last time he got mad, he was great, and he's been fine. He really missed us. Like, he's been so loving since I got home, but he last time was like mad, because I think now he understands that we're coming back. I think what happened last time is he thought we had like abandoned him, because he'd never been fully alone. And he's not fully alone in the sense Gloria and Annette are here, but like, unless we feel they need to, we're just kind of letting him be in the room by himself, because he doesn't really know them as well as us. So I think someone coming in that's not us is more, would scare him more. So he kind of just sits there and just kind of waits for us, and then it's just, but he had never had both of us gone that long. You know what I mean? And for like 2 nights. So it only had ever been us going like for like a couple hours, maybe to the strip or to, you know, run errands or something. And then me going to Manhattan, but Richard being here. You know, and then, you know, Richard's pretty much here most of the time when I'm in Manhattan. He doesn't go anywhere that far, you know. He goes maybe an hour away at most, you know, and probably not even that far. So Casper's never alone for very long, and so he was really mad the first trip to LA, which was, so we went this last weekend, and then we didn't go the weekend before that, we went the weekend before that. I don't know the dates anymore, I've lost track. But we went Friday to Sunday, and then the weekend before we stayed here, and then it was the weekend before. So it was like every other weekend kind of thing. But now we're not going again till after I go to New York. Because I go to New York November 6th through the 18th. And I don't want a trip before I go to New York to LA, because it just feels like too much of like, because either it has to be this week, next weekend, which would be 2 trips in a row to New York. I keep saying the wrong. To LA. So many places now. To LA. This is Vegas, and then we go to LA and New York. So we got 3 places now. And so I keep like saying them all wrong. But we just went last weekend. We would have to go this weekend, or if we skipped a weekend, then I would go the next weekend, but then it would be the next weekend, or not even the next weekend, like like in a couple of days I'd go to New York, like on that Thursday. And that just, like we'd come back on Sunday, and on that Thursday I'd go to New York. That's too much. So I'll do a trip when I get back.
Says that your hair looks great, and it's lucky that you got to go to LA.
Yeah, no, I had a great time in LA. Sunnyflower?
Sunnyflower 88.
Sunnyflower 88. I really appreciate what you said about the hair, and yeah, it was great going to LA. I'm really loving it, and I feel like it's very healing. So I was saying like the ocean was healing Richard's legs. I feel like it's healing me, even with this alcohol and the eating disorder. But like I said, I'm still going to battle with it for one more time in New York. Is going to be that battle there, but after that I'm not going to put myself in that situation, and then it's all going to be LA. And so LA is a very positive vibe for me. It's positive health vibe. But what's going to happen is if I do end up drinking in New York, which I really hope I don't, but I'm saying it's an everyday battle for me there. So I can do it, but it's just like, it's what am I going to decide to do? You know, it's one of those things. It's difficult because everyone says like, oh, just stay strong. You're like, it's easy to stay strong when you're not having to deal with all the things I'm dealing with when I go there too. Like, it's a lot that I'm taking on, and it's like, and then I'm dealing with like my 2 strongest addictions, like that are like bombarded in front of my face, and I'm all alone, and so it's like, it's just a lot for me when I'm there. So that's why Richard's even been before, because he would not be okay if I was drinking in Vegas, because it's very destructive to me. But he even is like, you know, if you need to in New York, because you're taking on a lot of stress, you're doing a lot, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm like, I don't want to go to New York anymore if that's going to be the case, if it's going to be too hard for me to not drink. So that's why I'm going one more trip, and I'd already had it planned. So what happened is, we didn't think about the LA thing until we had already booked several days and the flights, you know, to and from New York. And they're non-refundable. And I was like, I could just forgo that, but it doesn't make sense. So I do feel like the force is saying, go to New York one last time, but I don't want to go again after that. And so, because LA makes way more sense. Richard, do you mind getting me one more of these?
Yeah, sure.
My mouth's so dry. I guess put the. I don't know if the chapstick makes it better or worse. I feel like I don't know. Chapstick is questionable to me. This is Burt's Bee, and I'm not saying like just the chapstick brand, but I feel like I put on the stuff, and then I feel like my lips are more pale. But maybe it's taking off the dead skin is why it's peeling. I don't know. That's probably what it is. I like dead skin because I never put on the chapstick. Yeah. But anyways, you get that like get all the like dry skin off. But then what happens when I do that is then I end up like pulling it, and then you cut your lip. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else experiences that when I'm talking about. You know, you pull the like dry skin, and then like your lip. But anywho, so now I got the dry skin right here. I can feel coming off at the chapstick. Burt's Bee, like it gets like right there. Yeah, look at that. See? I don't know about this stuff. I feel like it just creates more like crap on you. Like it's like weird stuff. Anyway, whatever. I'm so weird about certain things. Richard gets so irritated with me because certain things I'm just really weird about. Like, and I'll stay like really strong about it too. Of like my weirdness with certain things. Like, I just want it to be that way, and I do flex on a lot of things. But certain things I'm like, I don't know, I just want it this way. And he'll just get frustrated because he'll just be like, "There's where it's." He'll get frustrated because it's just like I'm very rigid. It's funny because I do this job and people think I'm a very uptight, rigid person.
Someone was saying that you drink like a sailor but don't eat. But actually, you don't. It's like the quantity you drink is not a lot.
Well, what happens is I've never been a heavy drinker in the sense of like, in Panama it was one thing, but what it is it didn't require a lot to get me wasted. So now when I don't drink for X amount of time too, it's even less. So like, it's like, you know how they say you build your tolerance or whatever. So if you go, like I'm going to be 50 days, it doesn't take much. So a 6-pack and I'm passed out of hard cider. Like those, they call them Angry Orchards, I think is like the ones. Those are so much sugar. I stopped getting those things. It's too much sugar. And then I started getting these beers, but then they were too high percentage. So then I'm like, oh dear. Because the Angry Orchards were like 5% and the beers were like much higher percent. Then those I got so drunk on because I had these 2 beers and that was that time that I barely made it on my flight. 2 beers, but they were strong. And they're like, you know, these tall can beers. I'm not talking like 2 Bud Lights, but probably wouldn't take very many. I remember when I was in the Air Force, everyone drank Bud Lights. They wouldn't take me many. Probably 4. I probably 3 sheets to the wind. So it doesn't take much. And it never has, but when I drink, I have a tendency to finish whatever I have. So, like if I buy a 6-pack, it's really bad for me because I'm going to drink all that. So I have to buy small quantities of things. Like I found these ciders that were a 4-pack. That was better, but then I think those were higher percentage. So it was like, oh, I feel like either way I'm in trouble here. So then I thought the beers, but then those were too high percent. So it was like, oh, and then you don't want to drink like the really low percent beers, then you're so full, oof, all that stuff. So it's like it's one of those things. It's bad, and so I'm bad when I drink because those are the things I evaluate. Like, oh. But I don't drink liquor. I the only time I do is if I for some reason go to a restaurant and get a cocktail. Like I think like that on the blog I got a margarita that one time, and that day was bad. That I had tequila, that was the margarita. Not good. So usually when I drink, I stick with just hard ciders or beers. But and I don't like those dark ale beers, like lighter, like pale ales, you know, or Hefeweizens or something. But it is extremely difficult in New York because they advertise all of the stuff, like all these beers, all these different drinks, all these new drinks, all these things, all these bars, all these, you know, and I just not bombarded with that 24/7 here or in LA. A little bit, you know, when you went on the beach, but there's a lot of other things too, you know, whereas in New York there's certain areas that not other areas. So there's like the residential areas, but then that's boring to walk around. So if you walk around the residential areas, you're not going to be bombarded, but that's extremely boring. So in the areas where you want to walk, like in Times Square, or if you want to be, you know, down by Wall Street, or if you want to go to, you know, even, you know, by Central Park, or, you know, then they're always trying to grab you, or just the, you know, the big areas that people go that are the, you know, the ones that you think of. You know, Rockefeller. Then there's a lot of, you know, stands are trying to sell you things of alcohol and food, you know, and a lot of bars and things because they're trying to get the tourists. But those are the fun places to walk around because otherwise you're just walking by people's houses, which are nice and they're beautiful buildings. But so the areas that are fun to walk around are the difficult parts when you're struggling with addiction. So that's the contradiction. Contradiction. And that's why I'm just like, I just don't want to keep going because I just can't deal with this every couple of months, you know? It's like, then I'm just not going to go anymore. And that's why I'm really excited that even if I mess up this trip, which I really hope I don't, I'll be day 50 before I leave. I really hope I don't. But if I do, it'll be the last time I have to deal with this. And that makes me very happy. And that's what's making me happier and happier, because I don't want to be an alcoholic. And I mean, I'll always be an alcoholic, but I don't want to be an alcoholic that's actually still drinking. It's like, because I'm always going to be an alcoholic. I just don't want to be an alcoholic that drinks. I want to be an alcoholic that doesn't drink anymore. And I really hate that I am so weak by myself, but I do realize it is important that I'm not single, because I was extremely destructive when I was single. And I stayed single like a lot, like when, and then I had relationships a lot too, but I stayed single a lot because I liked people not bothering me with my certain addictions. And when I first got with Richard, he was comfortable with my addictions, but at some point he wasn't anymore, and that upset me at first, because I was like, I was under the impression you were okay with my addictions, and now you're telling me to stop, and that irritated me, because I was like, I didn't want someone to tell me to stop, but I had to, and he saved my life many times. And I realized it's not like he forced me. It's much like as a married couple, you decide like, okay, your alcohol is getting us like kicked out of every single hotel. We stayed at 3 hotels, and your alcohol addiction is like, this is what's happening. Like, you need to stop drinking. Like, things like that. Like, we say, like, we would pay and they would kick me out because I would fall asleep in the hallways, or like start yelling or run around like a buffoon. I would go into other people's rooms in Panama. I was such an alcoholic. I would like start talking to people, and like sit down and think they like wanted to talk to me, and I didn't understand, because it wasn't the same language. So I thought they were like, we were all friends. And then I was getting in trouble with the hotels. Like, they were like, this girl's insane. So like things like that, which are like, you need to stop drinking, you know what I mean? This was like, you know, like 2012, 2013. But so it's like that where you go, yeah, like you some people are like, oh, you know, your husband shouldn't tell you what to do, but I think if you have an addiction problem, you should let someone tell you what to do, you know, whether it be your husband or your kids or your parents, whoever it is, because you do need someone to tell you what to do and to try to help you not do it, because on our own, the people that are big addicts like me, like I struggle. So without Richard, when I'm 12 days in a city, I get very nervous. I'm very nervous. It's in 17 days, and each day I'm getting a little more nervous. I'm excited at the same token too, because I do love going to New York, but I'm glad I'm not going anymore at the same token. It's hard to describe, because I love New York to death, but also New York is all about it, like, not why I love his addiction, but that city breeds addiction. So it's hard for me to be there and not do addiction, and that's not why I love New York, because of the addiction, but it's just an amazing city. But the sad part of it is when I'm there, because I loved New York because I didn't struggle with food or alcohol for the first like 6 months we lived there. We were so good with our diet, and we were and then we went off the wagon with the food, but the alcohol, the first time I drank in New York was in November 2024. And I thought at the time it'd be cool, because I'm like, oh, I've never drank in New York, I guess it'd be cool. And I thought, you know, but each time I'm just realizing how destructive it is, you know. And it's insanely destructive. Like, I mean, I have like so many scars since last November from drinking, and but I'm glad it all happened, because I feel stronger, and I'm definitely stronger. I mean, the scars here, those ones, I can't describe how much that hurt. And it was all my fault. Do you understand how frustrating that is? When you have the most insane pain of like an injury that you just caused to yourself, but because you're drunk, and now you have to walk. And I mean, luckily you're still a little drunk, but as you sober up, like you're feeling it, and you're just like, if I had just not drank today, because it was one of those things where I'd come back from New York, and this was in March. I had sobered up, and then I broke my sobriety, but it was only like a day or two into it, you know. It wasn't very long, or maybe a couple of days into it. It wasn't like, you know, that long. But I snuck it from Richard, and then he noticed right away because I was drunk, and then he got mad, and so we got in a fight, and I said, I want to go to the VA, and then we get in the car, and then I said, I don't want to go to the VA, and he's like, we're fighting, because he's like, I'm just like crazy. I'm just like, I'm like, and then I start kicking him. He's like, I don't know what you want to do. And he literally is like, I don't know, he's starting to kind of pull the car. I don't know what you want, because I'm starting to kick him. And then I'm like, I just want to get out of the car. And I open the door, and I like roll out of the car. And then like there's cars, and like he's, it was only, the speed limit is 45, but we weren't going 45. I didn't know what speed we were going, but I hit the road on this side, and then I was like still something. My boot fell off. I had boots that were like laced up, and my boot fell off, and I lost my boot. Richard went and got my boot too, but I took off and I went running, and I'm like bleeding, and then he couldn't find me, and I didn't have my phone, and so he couldn't trace me, and I walk for like all these miles, and then get to a bar and get more alcohol, and I don't have anything. I don't have money or a phone. But I run a tab. They let me run a tab, and I say, I need to use your phone. My husband will come pay the tab. And this was in March. And the entire time, I was like, if I had just not drank today, I wouldn't have like scars for life. You know what I mean? And at that moment, like being like excruciating pain. And so it is a very frustrating thing, because I don't know why some people that are like me, why we do these harmful things to ourselves. Because it's not that we want to be harmful to ourselves. I'm trying to speak for other people. If I was just speaking for myself, I know it's not that I want to be harmful. It's just once I get in that mode, you can't stop me. So like, once I have my first drink, I turn into like, like rev me up. And that's how other people are with other addictions that they might struggle with. And so before I take the first drink, and so that's why I get frustrated in New York, because I go like, don't take the drink, don't take the drink, don't take the drink. But it's like the constant like being, I go, forget it, and then I drink. But then it's like, I think as me and what other addicts have expressed when I was in AA, is you always think it's going to be different this time, You think, oh, you're not going to have a terrible episode, but something always happens. And it's usually an injury to me because I fall. And I'm very coordinated when I'm sober, and even when I smoke weed, I'm very coordinated. But alcohol, I become the biggest klutz on the planet. I mean, I drop everything. I dropped the phone. I never dropped the phone. I dropped the phone in a crack. Luckily, we would put a screen, but I've never dropped a phone. Richard drops the phones all the time. I dropped his phone, and he's like, don't drop the phone, because we had just got the screen done, but we would put a screen protector luckily, but I dropped it when I was drunk. And then I fell so hard in my room, on that trash can, and like that bruise went away luckily. But this other one is from the road rashing. That's like under the skin. And they say that it'll get better because it was only in March, so it hasn't even been a year. I don't know. Alcohol is just completely detrimental to me. And do you remember that one time, you guys? That one, I forget when that was. I've been to so many trips, if the people that were watching, where the wind blew me over. But I was like intoxicated, so it didn't help. I was already, and I had heels, stumbling, and then woof! I got really hurt that time too. And then I dropped a mirror on my toe. I could have cut my toe off. That was bad. That one was bad, because what happened was, I was trying to move the mirror off the wall. Well, I had moved the mirror off the wall to do a video, because I didn't want you guys doxing me or something. So I moved the mirror, and then I was trying to get ready quickly for work, and I had been drinking. So when I went to hang the mirror, and it was a heavy mirror, but it was one that is like a closet one, but like a really, really sturdy one, like a wood one. So it's like heavy. And it had a really solid thing that it like latched into, and it was on a wall, not on a door. And as I hung it, it only latched onto one. Those things where like they latch in and it kind of like latches on one and falls. And I was seeing it fall like as it was falling, but I kind of caught it, but I kind of caught it with my hands, but it was long, so it like went right to my big toe and like almost sliced it off, because it was like heavy, and it fell from like pretty high on the wall. It was like, and I was glad the mirror didn't shatter too, it didn't. Just the frame just like sliced my toe. And I was like, oh! And it was like blood everywhere. And I was like, oh no, because I needed to go to work. And I was like, I don't have any Band-Aids. Like, I don't know if hotels have Band-Aids. And I didn't know, so I wrap it up with toilet paper and I put it on the sock and I go downstairs and I'm like, do you guys happen to have Band-Aids? And they're like, we usually do, but unfortunately we don't. And I'm like, fabulous. And so I'm like, this isn't gonna work because I see like the blood coming through my sock and I'm like, okay. So I go back upstairs and I don't have any sort of like tape or anything, and it's like, you know, you need to like kind of like get it to stop bleeding. Like, and and I need to go walk somewhere, and all I have is heels, okay? No other shoes. This was a trip I brought boots that were like high heels, and my work heels that were also boots. You know, like a chunky heel, but now my foot is like all bloody, and it's like, it really, really hurts, and I go, oh, okay, now I have to go find out how to get Band-Aids, and I gotta go to work, and I'm like, so I go to, what's the closest thing? There's like a 7-Eleven, but I'm like, oh dear. So I put like my bloody foot in the shoe with a bunch of socks, so like it doesn't actually get in the shoe. My socks get all ruined, but that can get out of the socks, but I didn't want it in the shoe. But I get there, and then I was able to get some Band-Aids and, you know, bandage it up before I went on the call, and then the guy ended up actually canceling on me after the whole thing. I was like, oh, fabulous. But had I not been drunk, I don't think any of that would have happened, you know. And I wasn't like drunk, but just, you know, had been drinking, I should say. And there, what happens is, if you're drinking every day, you kind of don't ever sober up. So you're kind of just drunk, you know, the whole time for me. Like, it's like, so by day 12, it's just like, I'm really bad, you know. So, I don't know. I try not to stress about it because it gets me too worked in my head to think that many days ahead, but then it's also like not that many days ahead, so that's what gives me anxiety. So I could pick at my lip a little bit, but it's like, I think I'm gonna take the dead skin off. I feel like the chap, is that what chaps are supposed to do? Is kind of take the dead skin off?
I got a couple super chats I gotta read to you.
I don't even know these things. Help me out, you guys.
Okay, ready?
It seems like that's what it does.
I got a couple super chats, you ready?
Yeah, what is it?
Okay. God bless, sis. I talk shit, but I'm sober 13 years.
Wow.
Kicks Mechanic.
Who said that?
Kicks Mechanic.
Kicks Mechanic. Congrats on the 13 years. Stick with it. Don't ever break that. There's no reason when you're that long. Because, like with me, I knew I was going to battle with this from November to November. I've been talking about this. But, like, once I get back on the train, I'm just going to stick with it because you're never going to have something that's going to go better with alcohol. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, like, I mean, you might, well, I was going to say even funness, because no, it always goes south if you're an alcoholic. So it's like, you're always going to feel better the longer you're sober. So the problem with restarting is that you feel crappy for a really long time in the beginning. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm frustrated, because so there's this thing of, some people think, okay, you just want to go to New York to drink, okay? But even if that's the case, what happens right after that is I have to go through the withdrawals for the next, like, pretty much month again, feeling crappy. So even if there's a hint of wanting to drink, now it's like, ugh, so it's like, do I even want to, you know what I mean? So it's like, I've gone through this so many times now that it's so fresh in my mind that it's like, every time I consider drinking, I go, but in New York, as I'm saying, it's like, it's that daily battle, and sometimes I came in. But the other thing with me is it really messes up my looks. It makes my body go into no sort of like womanly form. Like, you know how women have like their shapes that, you know, they get their curves. You kind of just turn into more blobby, you know, and you get like a beer gut if anything. And my face, I get really puffy cheeks, and not a good way. You know how like puffy cheeks can be good in a good way? This is like the swollen, and my eyes get so swollen that I can barely open them sometimes, like the longer I drink. So it's not like a good look. It's like hard to put the makeup on because you're like the makeup doesn't help. I put eyeliner on, it doesn't help because your eyes are just like swollen. So every day that I do drink, like I see my looks deteriorate. So like there's these things that keep happening where like since it's happened so many times now, like I said, November would be the last time that I even consider it. But I go like, do I want to? Do I want to go through the looks thing, and do I want to go through the withdrawal thing? Do I mean for like some ridiculous acting like a fool in New York? So
Well, here, okay, another donation from Kicks Mechanic. She's gonna romance her addiction. War story yourself. You're gonna tell so many war stories. You're gonna war story yourself into a relapse. That's all he said.
Yeah, I'm gonna wish her. Well, the problem is the only reason why I talk about it after I go to New York, I'm not gonna keep talking about this, you guys. I don't know if you guys know this. It's only been something that's been through the New York thing, and because once I get back from New York, I'm not gonna keep talking about my daily battle with addiction. I'm gonna write for like like the first month, but then I'll move on because then it'll just be a lifetime thing. But this New York thing has been very difficult, and how I'm going to fix it is I'm not going to go to New York. And I can do that now that I'm going to LA. I couldn't before. And this trip was already booked, and so I think the universe wants me to go there because it is the, my mom's thing. And maybe they want me to, try to be strong, or go through the battle. I don't know. But after that, I'm not going to do that again because I don't drink in Vegas, and I'm not going to drink in LA. Like, I'm there with my husband, and we were going like boogie boarding. I mean, it's like, I even had, like, if clients ask, I'm like, I'm only here for 3 days. I just don't want to see those people. But in New York, I'm there for 12 days, and if it gets slow on a day, then I might have to see someone that wants to go out to drinks. You know what I mean? And it's required, or they don't want to see me. And so there is a lot more of a challenge there because every day I'm paying for very expensive hotels for myself. And if I don't work in New York, it's very bad. And sometimes the calls might be all for things that I don't want to do, of like, they want me to go out to have drinks, you know what I mean? And but I go, okay, let me do this because it makes sense for the, financially, but here it doesn't. And I'll just say no because I'm not every day paying a hotel fare and paying for everything else there. So I'm not here. If someone asks me and that's required, I go, I'm sorry, I can't see you then, because I don't. We have the bills we pay, but it's not like every day is like a zero and all this money goes out and nothing comes in, because I'm traveling, so there's all the expenses and there's ads and things and there's all my expenses of just being in another city by myself, or travel expenses, and especially if I drink or buy expensive food, then it gets expensive. Where here, we have everything pretty streamlined, of like, getting the most affordable things. There, everything's probably the most expensive. You're gonna pay for things. So every day I'm there is very expensive. So if I'm not working, then it's very hard. So that's why it's much more of a challenge, because people go, oh, just don't do that, or don't do that work, or why is it a challenge there? Because you don't want to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs and turning down people that want you to go to cocktails, and you say, sorry, I can't go because I don't drink, and they don't want to go with someone who's sober alcoholic. That is probably the worst person to go have cocktails with. So I'll just watch you drink and just wish it could be me and just be weird about it. But so they want you to drink. I don't know if most people that drink want people to drink with them. It's kind of like a social thing. So I've said that, and sometimes people are like, then I'm not interested. I go, oh, I don't drink. And they go, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. Because one thing, you just sound like a fuddy-duddy. You sound like a bore. So, because a lot of people drink in New York. I don't know if you guys know that me and Richard were sober for a very long time here in Vegas, and it seems like people would drink a lot in Vegas, but only like on the Strip. But off the Strip, like, you don't experience it that much here, maybe in certain places. But in New York, people drink a lot and smoke cigarettes still, which is shocking to me. Like, I kind of thought that was going out of style. I thought only Annette just did that. But, like, people do, and it's just weird, like, all the time there. And because you can still smoke, like, in a lot of public places there. And so you see people smoking cigarettes, like, young and old, and everyone drinking, and it's just like, and people are still pretty healthy there because it's, it's the vibe there. There's, they're probably are busy. They probably don't have a lot of time, but if they're not busy, the people that do work at home do get into addiction very bad in New York. And I know, because I know some of those people, and it gets very scary there because they're all alone and they haul up in their places and they don't leave, and you can get food delivery now, and you can, get everything delivered, and you know, people will bring the stuff up to their rooms and stuff of anything. I mean, you can get anything on Uber Eats these days. You can get alcohol delivered. You can get anything delivered these days. And so people don't have to leave. I think you can even get cigarettes delivered. I mean, they just have to ID you when you get there. They just make you show the ID. I mean, everything's so digital now. They just bring the little scanner, make sure you have an ID that's legit. And
a prompt.
You know, that back in the day, it was like, well, how are we gonna, you know, verify? But it's like, you know, now with stuff you can. So they're able to deliver a lot of stuff in New York. I don't know if that's everywhere yet, but in New York, they'll deliver you anything. So people don't have to leave their places, and it can be scary if someone's living alone. They can get really deep in addiction there. And it's very hard there because it's a very lonely city. I don't know if you guys know that. It's, you know, there are families there and there are couples, but there's more single people, I would say, than families or couples in Manhattan. Not in all of New York, just in Manhattan. Because one thing is extremely expensive, and it's kind of hard to raise a family there unless you have a lot of money and they just go to those extremely wealthy schools. But those pampered children, oh my gosh, some of those children are so pampered that they just like grew up in Manhattan and that's all they know. They went to all the private schools in Manhattan that are just like insanely expensive. But most people, it's kind of insanely expensive to raise children in Manhattan because everything's expensive. And everything, I mean, you gotta pay for parking, you gotta extremely expensive places. All of the places where you shop are extremely expensive. So like the Whole Foods is more expensive for most things than the Whole Foods in Vegas. You know what I mean? Some things are the same, some are more. It just depends. It's funny. That's how all of them are. Like some things are the same for the price, and some things are more expensive. And some are like ridiculously more expensive, and you're like, oh,
in
dear.
New York
like,
delivers
things that we
you
get
to
here.
stop talking.
Example. And we'd be like, oh no, like we're not paying that price. But like the spices there are really expensive, so we'll try to get like buy one. Like if we didn't even buy a spice this weekend for our beef because they're so expensive. They were even more in California. The same spices, but they might be better, but it's the same jars. You get what I'm saying? It's like this is frustrating. It's the same packaging, but it's different because those things are packaged near the States. You know what I mean? So, or within the States. So the beef you get in New York is, even though it's in the same package that says Organic Rancher from Whole Foods, is not the same beef that they have in Vegas that says Organic Rancher, or the same beef that they have in LA that says Organic Rancher. And I didn't know that till I tried them all. And they're like insanely different. And it's frustrating to me because the best one is California, which is the most expensive, $10.99 a pound, worth every penny. I have one more pound left we brought home though. I put my little ice chest. We have this little ice chest that's not really an ice chest that's like a hard ice chest. It's more like a lunchbox ice chest. So it doesn't hold in the ice once it melts, you know, which I didn't think about with my wonderful noggin I have the first trip. I thought about it as we were driving, that I was like, wait, that ice is going to melt and that thing is not going to hold the water. And then I was like, oh, I got to get this out before, I luckily got it before it all melted. But so this time I said, I'm going to put the ice in sandwich baggie, Ziploc bag, but also I was like, we have a couple of ice packs. And I was like, I see we have all these ice packs we've never used, okay, for anything. And there's all these different ones. Like one of them I think was that you're supposed to have for your leg. One of them I think you were supposed to put in one of the cooler things, the fans, but we never used it. We just put it in the freezer, and they're like perfectly new. So I buy all these different ones of these different things. So it's like these little packs and these ones that are, you know, supposed to be for like ice pack for your leg. I put that, and then I put and so we brought home a couple pounds because I wanted to. But $10.99. Sure broke the bank. I mean, it's a shocking your total at the Whole Foods there. You're like, oh, don't even tell me. I just scan the card. I don't even want to know. It's so bad, but it is better food. So it's frustrating because it's like the fact that that's what you have to pay for good food, but then the fact that you can't even get that quality of food in some places is frustrating. But I don't think I'd be able to afford it anyways. So we kind of like splurge a little and when in Rome, I say. But California is all about health for us, and the boogie boarding was so fun. Oh my gosh. And the trip was great. So I worked, but then I'm trying to think of anything else we did other than, I worked and then boogie boarding, because it's 2 half days basically, and then 1 full day. I mean, that's all we're there. We get there, we arrived, I think, around 5 p.m., maybe we got there a little earlier, maybe we got there like 3 p.m. On Friday, and then we left at what time? 3 p.m.-ish on Sunday. So, or even earlier, 1 p.m.-ish? I don't even know. I forget the exact time was. But it's a quick trip. So it's like, I mean, you don't even remember, like, did I sleep? Like, because we do, but you're like, everything just goes so fast. I remember I was sleeping, and then I woke up, and I thought Richard was playing with Casper, but he was doing push-ups. And I was like, oh, Casper. And then I was like, oh, Casper. So Casper did really well. He's getting kind of the routine. So he is so entertained in our room. I mean, I have it like set up for him. If anyone said, I can't believe when people used to call Animal Patrol, because my bunny is so spoiled. I mean, I feed him too much. I'm trying to get him on a diet. You'd be surprised. He's a little brat if we don't feed him. And I mean, we try and we do, but oh man, he's an ornery little thing. And he likes those dang treats and stuff. And so we only give him a little bit, but he's a little brat about it. But he'll just go into the bed if he's mad. If he's like, fine, go into the bed now. Because I'm like, I'm not going to keep giving you food, you little fatty. But anyways, he got fat after we had to get him neutered. He lost interest and desire of, anything but food. But he has so many little toys, and he chews on all these things. I mean, at night, we hear him just chewing all night. So when we're gone, I think he just chews on all his stuff all night. So he has bamboo sticks. He has these alfalfa blocks, or these they're Timothy Hay blocks, I think. And they're not alfalfa. They're Timothy Hay blocks. And then he has these balls that were made for bunnies.
$2 super chat from Kicks Mechanic. Charlie Kirk would be speechless.
Charlie Kirk would be speechless. Okay, I know nothing about him. I don't even fully know what happened. I mean, I know that he died, but I don't know anything more. And I know there's been all this controversy, but I really don't know. I don't know. So I stay out of politics. I really do. I really don't like getting involved in that stuff. Like Richard watches a lot of those. Well, he watches the news, but then he watches the channels that make fun of the news, kind of like Bill Maher and The Daily Show and we've been watching Jimmy Kimmel just since Trump made him famous again, to be honest, and then Jimmy Fallon and all those guys. But that's the only time I hear about any of this stuff, and I tend to not even want to watch those things because I'm like, I don't really care to hear about it. Like, I don't feel that my life is affected anyway, except for negatively if I hear negative. But it's not like, oh, I needed to know that. You know what I mean? So people are like, oh, you're unaware of certain things. Like, but yeah, but did I need to know that? So I don't know. Like, I don't tend to dig into like what's going on with the stuff. Like, I'll hear kind of the gist of things, but then I'm like, I don't care to hear anymore. And so I tend to not take sides because I don't hear everything. And if I do take sides, I often then hear the other side and I go, oh, because I jumped too soon because I don't listen to everything. And so I can, I always kind of know that a lot of things have, both sides have a point. But there's some things that, some have a much stronger, but I tend to just always stay out of all that stuff. It just makes me happier. I don't like to watch the news. I feel that all I'm going to hear is negative things. I'm going to hear about all the wars and things that I don't need to know about. I mean, not that I'm putting my head in the sand and, not wanting to know about people that are struggling, but there are always people struggling and suffering. It always is happening. And if we only concentrate on that, we'll just be sad ourselves and just constantly feel traumatized. So you have to kind of be like, I know people are suffering, but I still have to try to be happy with my own life, And so if you watch the news, it depresses you. I mean, it's always like, who got killed, this or that, and it's just like, I don't need that. I don't need that. When I turn it on in the morning, I don't need, especially when it's children and things, I don't need to see those images. I don't need that. My mom would always say, garbage in, garbage out. It's just like, I don't want to fill my mind in the morning with such horrific scenes. I don't like blood and gore. I don't like that it's in all the movies. I don't like that it's in all the video games now. I don't like it. I'll close my eyes in a movie. I'm like the little kid. I close my eyes if I have my little shades. You know, you guys have my little night shades.
Absolutely, Joy, but sometimes we can help with the boundaries.
Okay, but if there's something that you can help, like, that's awesome, like if it's in your local community. But most things are like world issues that me and you can't help, you know, unless you're, you know, you somehow,
your job.
You know, political, you know, like, but, you know, or that's your thing. But it's like in another, as much as I would love to send food to the people that don't have food, and I don't know how, like, and they say, oh, you can send it to this organization. You don't know if it gets to them. I mean, so I don't know how to personally deliver it to the people, you know, besides going to Africa or whatever the people are, you know, when you hear about the children starving in Africa on the commercials on the TV, I don't know if your organization is really going to get the money to those kids and that's why I don't tend to, because they go, oh, you know, donate or go. I don't know how much. I know they do a little bit, but it's like I feel like a lot of it, you know, because those things are non-denominational. I mean, not denominational. That's church. They don't have to pay taxes. What is that called? What was I trying to think of? They get taxed where they don't have to pay taxes. I can't think of the word right now. Non-denominational is church related. I grew up in the church, but I don't trust those charities, and it's always the celebs always donate to all these charities. But then you find out the charity was keeping not 99% of the money for themselves, and not really, you know, giving a tiny percent. And you're just like, so all that money really just went to these wealthy people. So you weren't actually even helping. So it's like I try to just, you know, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to help people that I see. Like, we often help people when we see people about. Richard helped this guy in California. This guy, we came by our car when we were unloading our car, and he was clearly on something, like really out there on something. But we try not to judge. And he, you know, I'm sure was homeless, like very dirty. He was just wandering, and he asked us for $1. And at the time, we didn't think we had any money, so we said, "Oh, we don't." But then we were doing something else.
$10 super chat. I gotta read
oh yeah, okay, read the $10. Yeah,
right?
I have a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. What is it?
So get mad if I don't read it.
Okay.
Oh, my sister in Christ, you must be high because you don't take a break speaking. It feels like you're being fake about getting clean and treatment. And close your mouth open. Your ears want to do good, but you're filled with yourself.
Okay, well, that was a very negative comment. Like I said, I don't like to fill my head with negativity, so I'm not going to receive that. But we're going to move on. But anyways, I do talk a lot. It's called blogging. So, I mean, would you rather just stare at me when I say nothing? I could just sit here silently. Would you guys prefer that? Okay. Is that more entertaining? I don't think so. Anyways, back to the point. So, thank you for the $10. I will take it, and I appreciate the $10 because you know what? I do work hard for my money. Other people don't believe that, so.
Says, good job, Joy.
Thank you. But no, I am taking my sobriety very seriously. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to New York anymore, but I have to go one more trip because I'm not gonna like forgo all that money that probably is necessary because I could make a lot of money there. So I'm gonna do one more trip, but it's one of those things. Yeah, it's a tough thing. But after that, I'm taking my sobriety very seriously because I'm not gonna go to New York anymore. But anywho, moving on. But in LA, this poor guy, he was so out of it, and so then he comes back by, and then Richard goes, I think I have a $5 bill. And I was like, oh, then let's give it to him. So Richard gives him the $5 bill. The guy gets so excited that he jumps and he runs into a wall and like hurt his leg, you know, because he was like so like out there. And so Richard's like, oh, sorry, okay.
He's gonna get really annoyed with me.
Yeah, no, I'm not. We're gonna just take the money. Sorry, but we're not gonna read negative comments anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, like that's. I don't think that it creates a good energy.
Well,
in the room.
This comment was back and forth. Let the man ask you questions.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll go question.
I think we should just read whatever it is and just deal with it later.
Okay. Oh yeah, if it's not negative, I'm saying negative things just like kind of just. I don't know. It's just like I don't really understand why you feel so hateful that you're putting your money on just saying something rude to someone. It's kind of shocking to me, but I will take it. I'll take the donation, but it's always it's something that kind of disturbs my insides of like my soul that people just kind of go out of their way. Because like I try to not to feed into negativity all day, but then some people just, that's all they want. And we got pulled into it when we first got on this channel, and we probably were very negative ourselves and hadn't realized. But the more people were negative towards us, it pulled us out of our negativity. And now we're like, we were very negative and didn't see like on a daily basis. So like
Now
me
we're
and
more
Rich
positive.
going to LA is each day like we're getting more positive. So each trip to LA, and I don't mean like each but we went to LA, and so then we come home and we feel more positive each day. But each trip, so we went 2 trips. The first trip we came back feeling more positive. This trip we came back feeling even more positive than the first trip because it's like now it's 2 trips. So each trip we're like something about like it's just making us feel like I don't know, just good about life. And it was like, and you know, we did sacrifice a lot coming here. People act like, you know, we just been
Jacob
it's been a lot.
Jacob says what you want to do is you want to turn your haters into money supporters.
Right. Well, I appreciate the money, and I don't want to, but it's one thing of like, it does boggle my brain that, I don't mean just for me, I'm just saying that like, that people use their money to be hateful when money could be positive. Like you could write a positive comment, and that would just be so nice to any subscriber. I mean, any blogger, any creator. But
Nice
it's
doesn't
interesting that people use their money to just say hateful things, and I don't feel that I've
Hold on,
ever.
we have a $5 donation from Kicks Mechanic. I'm giving you some feedback you would get into rehab. If it doesn't apply, let it fly, sis. I'm trying to be positive, but it's also war stories don't help you.
All right. Okay. Well, the only reason why I'm worried about war stories is because I'm about to go to New York. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep talking about them. So that's what I'm trying to say. If I wasn't about to go to New York in 17 days, I wouldn't be talking about this anymore. And that's what I'm trying to say. When I come back from New York, then I'll be done talking about this, and then I won't bring up this stuff. And
Please hit those likes.
Like it'd be better
And
to
share
not
the
talk
stream.
about alcohol. Then I wouldn't be constantly, thinking about it.
I think I read it right.
When I'm about to go in 17 days, it's a very strong thing I'm dealing with right now, and I'm only 33 days sober as is. So you're not that strong yet, and now I have to go do this, and I'm not totally, like, oh my gosh, I have to go, this is the worst thing ever, because I do love New York, and I am glad I'm going, but it is a thing that I am worried about this challenging. It is, and it's a challenge, so even if I stay sober the whole time, it's just a challenge the entire 12 days for me, and so I don't look forward to that, and then I don't look forward to, if I cave in, the challenge of when I get home, how much, you know what I mean, so that's the part that's a little bit daunting about the New York trips, and that's why I can't keep doing it. And that's why this is my last one.
Kathleen Whitworth says she's actually excited for your last ride in New York City.
Right, that's what I'm saying, and it's kind of like one of those things. It's like I'm glad you guys have been here for this journey, because I did a couple more trips before you guys came along. And maybe I don't even remember if it was how many it was, but you guys have been there for most of my Manhattan trips that I've gone, and I kind of appreciate you guys, because I don't know if I even would have drank without you guys. That's the weird thing. I'm not blaming you guys, but it's just like, it was just this weird thing where like I was able to kind of like express myself and even go through the drinking thing, where I think if I wasn't blogging, I just wouldn't have drank, because me and Rich had a really strong rule about never drinking for a really long time. But it was like something about everybody just kind of like, so I feel like this last year I've got to like, I don't know, uncover a lot about myself, and I'm getting stronger and I'm getting healthier than I was a year ago, even though I had not drank in a long time a year ago. Does that make sense? But I had so many other underlying issues that I'm uncovering, and so this whole year has been an insane challenge for me, an insane emotional. You guys have seen me cry when I get drunk. You've seen me cry when I wasn't drunk. You see me cry sober, cry drunk. You've seen me get hurt whatever. You see me, just, break down when I was sober or drunk, all these different things. You see me get angry, and I feel like each day I don't feel so volatile about things. Like I don't feel that I'm gonna, like I said, when I drink, it's another thing. So that's why drinking can't be in my future. Except I said, I don't know about this next trip, but that's it. But after that, it can't be in my future. But other than that, I don't see myself having like these insane blow-ups, because I don't get angry like I used to. Like I don't know. I'm just calmer. I've matured. I'm now 40. I'm gonna be 41 next year, and so we've already decided, me and Rich, that 2026 is like a completely fresh, healthier, and then on. But like no sort of.
Donation from Kicks Mechanics.
Oh, thank you.
About key things you're gonna do to stay clean.
Yeah. anyways, the problem is I don't want to think about New York, but I come on here and tell you guys about New York. But normally when I'm home, I don't think about New York. So how I daily stay like things, I honestly don't talk about alcohol that much in my daily life. I don't usually see it once I come home. But when I come on the blog is when I talk about it because of these New York trips. But in New York, that's why I was saying it's very different because you're constantly bombarded with it. Here, I don't even think about it after, like, I wasn't even thinking about it until I saw the alcohol in the fridge because we don't have any alcohol in the house, except for which Richard discarded, now we don't. But we hadn't had, and there's no, like, alcohol anywhere around here. It's not like there's a bar or anything, you know what I mean? So I'm like, so when I'm home, it's just like, I'm just chilling and, you're not even supposed to have alcohol ads on, I think, TV and stuff, and then I think they can on the new apps.
Hey, Farce is here.
Hey, Farce, healthy family, Farce. Thanks for always being a part of our family. But I'm not tempted by hard liquor.
That's
like
correct.
they do those hard liquor ads. That doesn't tempt me because I don't like hard liquor.
Doesn't even faze it.
No, like they were like trying to pour the whiskey. Ugh. But if they were doing like my ciders, I'd be like, forget about it. You know what I mean? So. Luckily, I don't think I've ever seen a commercial for those. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Are you gonna keep going?
I think I'm done. No, I'm
Okay,
done.
we got some football going on.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I'm done.
You did a good stream. I'll take over.
Thank you, everybody. I had a great time. I'm gonna make my nibblers.
Yeah, I cleaned out the pie. I took the pork out of there. So my pork
Okay, cool. Okay,
I've
cool.
got the soup and the pork. I'm actually pretty full. And that
Okay.
ate already?
Okay, they had the pork. Did Gloria do a good job?
Awesome.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Gloria did an awesome job.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, here you go. I'll let you have this. Are you gonna sit out here or no?
Let me check it out. No, I'm gonna go back there actually.
I almost fell asleep. That was actually how long was that?
I don't know how long is the stream going on. I think it's over 100 minutes, so over 90 minutes. So you had a lot to catch up with because you really haven't done one of these in a couple days.
No,
So
I feel like I still didn't feel like I get caught up, but I get on such tangents going the wrong direction, and then I never.
you did great. You did great. Your first day back.
I really get sidetracked. Very weird brain.
Okay, hold on. We have a $2 donation from the person who's donating all that stuff.
Thank you for the donation.
Okay, Kicks Mechanic says we are proud of you.
Thank you. And you guys are really gonna feel proud of me after I stop going to New York, and I'm not gonna be like every day talking about this alcohol thing. But the fact that I'm going in 17 days, I really am struggling with like the thoughts of like what am I gonna do in New York, and I don't like worrying about that. But it's getting close. So like before LA, I could just think about LA, but now I'm like, oh, now I have to think about New York, and I'm like, oh, and that's why I talk about it a lot right now. Because it's something I'm going to have to deal with.
Hey, Kicks Mechanic. Kicks Mechanic subscribed, so you better stay sober.
Thank you, Kicks Mechanic, and I really appreciate your support of today. So I didn't mean to get upset.
It happens. Here we go. La 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 la. Okay, you're gonna go do your dinner. I'm gonna go chat with the chat for 5 minutes. Yeah, they started, and also the baseball game started, I think, too. All right, chat. Let's see what's going on, guys. Let's have a little one-on-one. What do you think? Let me get the camera angle right. It's hard to set the camera. I have to kind of visualize myself there before I get there. But I think I did a pretty good job. Oh. Okay, chat. Let's see. How's that look? I don't want to have one of those like time photos like they had. Dude, moderator, you have a patience of a freaking saint. Hey man, thank you. You really are sober. Okay, I get your thing. Listen, she gets a lot of haters and trolls, so she can't tell the difference between people just trashing her. But you have to. It's progress, not perfection. Can we agree on that? And for those that have been watching the channel, like Handling the Howards and Farce and others, they know for a fact that there's been progress. So, you know, we're getting there, bro. We're getting there. Because last year at this time, that conversation would have gone completely sideways. Am I right, Farce? Wag, what's up? Hold on, I need to get different glasses. These glasses, I got a new prescription. But I don't like these bifocals as much as the... That's okay. It's probably best they stay. I probably would break them or something on the trip anyways. Okay. There you go. That's a little better. Now I can kind of read your chat. Progress? Yeah, well, there has been quite a bit. Just from the financial standpoint. I mean, we got here, we were so stressed out last year, bro. Can you imagine? I had no idea that things were so bad. I had no idea. You understand? Because when I left here, everything was solid, and then I come back 10 years later, and everything's not. I'm happy to donate continually. Where can I? Oh, thanks, man. That's cool. I appreciate it. Well, this is good. I think we have a Cash App, at Healthy Family Force. You can do at Healthy Family Force Cash App. Appreciate that support, bro. Oh. Cash App. All right. So who's all here? Did I say forest? No, I think it's the force is what it is. Healthy Family Force. How's it going, Jojo? How's it going? Going great today. How are you doing? Hi, C-Wag. Listen, as far as politics, you see, C-Wag and I like C-Wag. We are completely on opposite ends of political spectrum, and we kind of go at each other. I personally think it's for fun. I get a lot of humor out of it. I'm doing it for all the people that clip it on and post our shit to Reddit and other places. So I do that for entertainment. C-Wag, you know, I hope you know I respect your views and your opinions. I'm not trying to sway you in any direction because you know, your opinions are solid and correct. I just kind of like to stir the pot a little bit because you're actually a fun person to have a debate with. You know, some people, they're not quite as fun. You know, they get like they're so attached to their political beliefs or even their religious beliefs or any beliefs. You know, that they alienate people that don't believe the same as them. And they only want to be around an echo chamber and be around people that believe the same thing. Well, the problem with that, twofold. Number one, if that's the way we evolved, then we never would have evolved. We'd still be primates, right? Because the only way we evolved was by mutating mistakes. There was a mistake that happened. It was a mutation. It wasn't supposed to be like that. But enough mistakes, and like, wait a minute, that mistake is actually okay. So it's better to have a nice plethora of dialogue or a plethora of beliefs rather than have one solid belief, because even if they're wrong, there's an off chance that there might be a right idea that comes out of the argument. And that is what I think is the point of debating and argument and what moves society forward. That being said, I think you all know what time it is. No. You don't worry. Your parking will be validated. You don't have to leave and go move your car or don't look for excuses to leave. All right, Mac. Hey man, don't be lying. Don't be crying on me, Mac. These are bifocals, so I have to do this thing. I never knew what the difference was between bifocals and regular focals. Did you guys? Man, that's a pretty distorted guitar there. I don't know if I can handle that much distortion. You know, that's like Randy. That's like Randy style, you know. It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much for me. I need something a little more boutique. Play some Petty? Hell yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hell yeah. Hold on, let me put a cap on this thing. Maybe, okay, it depends on the distance is what it is. The distance of that thing. Okay. Petty. Petty. She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus, America too. She's a good girl, crazy about Elvis, loves horses, and her boyfriend too. There's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. Now I'm free falling. Is that okay? Is that working? All the vampires walking through the valley, walk west, down, Ventura Boulevard. All the bad boys standing in the shadows. All the good boys home with broken hearts. I always think, for some reason, I always think of He-Man. He-Man's an old moderator. No, she was never a moderator here. But she was an old member here. Actually, she was a current member. Anyways, I always think of that, for some reason, I always just think of her when I hear that line. I don't know why. I don't know much about her. I'm in the wrong key. Is it not working? Oh. Man, this is the first time I played this. You guys know that. Now I'm free falling. It's scary. I live alone and all the possibilities that could happen. What's wrong, Kathleen? What do you mean you're scared? What's going on? Are you okay? Don't be scared. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't listen to Seawag. He'll scare you. Stop scaring Kathleen, Seawag. Come on. Not nice. Okay, here we go. I think we need to clean it up a little bit. What do you think, guys? Let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. Does that work? Is it too tinny? Does it need to be a little more cleaner? On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of eucalyptus rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my life grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood on the... No, Midge, we're playing all night, man. Come on. You better have another drink, and you better think of another... You're next up. Come up with a song. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be hell, this could be hell. Then she lit up the candle, showed me the way. Voices down the corridor. Come on, Seawag, you know the words. Come on. She's got a Mercedes Benz. She's got a lot of pretty boys she calls friends. How they danced in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain, said, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Still those voices are calling away. To wake you up in the middle of the night. Hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely place. They're living it up at the Hotel California. Such a nice surprise. Bring your alibi. Mirrors on the ceiling. Pink champagne on ice. She said, we are all all just prisoners here of our own device. Isn't that right? And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stabbed it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. The last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man. You're programmed to receive. Check out anytime you like. You can never leave. Yeah, man. I think I did a pretty good job on it. What do you think, Mitch? I think I killed it, man. You know, I mean, that's my opinion, of course. And I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. Moons, and I got a feeling you're just joshing. Guitar solo, Crazy Train. That's something I have to take some time to learn. Hey man, I'm just learning some songs here. How we doing? Solo took me about 3 days. No way. Thanks, Irish Chef. But 3 days of like waking up, playing it like all day, right? Like just playing it, thinking about it? Yeah. Well, if you want to come up here, man, and teach me, I'd love that. We'll set it up some other time, not on this stream, obviously. Metronomes, I hate those. Damn. I always found those to be very annoying. An hour a day? Oh, that's not bad. That's cool. Oh, yeah, man, I've been playing for 50 years, and this is about as good as I got. Some people are just a knack, man. There are some great guitar players out there. Irish? Are you Irish chef? Are you Irish? Are you in Ireland? Are you American Irish or what? Because I've met some. Because when I look up songs and I look up things to learn how to play on YouTube, I get a lot of people from the UK. You know, I don't know if they're Irish or I can't tell the different accents yet, but yeah, yeah, I can't tell the different accents. You're Irish and you're not. Okay, yeah, man, exactly. Like I don't know. Did you guys invent the guitar or something? Because it's like when I look up like how to play, like it comes up UK this, UK that, UK that. All these guys have British accents teach me, which is fine. And they're really, really, really good teachers. And just, I mean, like I said, like I've been playing for 50 years, but really I probably had advanced more in the last year and a half than I have. Well, I'd say about the same. I'd say the first 40 years I went this far, and then I watched YouTube, and then I went like this far. Like I doubled how far I went, like within like 1.5 years of just watching YouTube videos. Because I was watching guys from England play, you know? I mean, where else? I mean, what other time period could I learn how to play guitar from someone in Ireland? You know? Or as Midge would say, Yorkshire. UK's UK. Oh, sorry, bro. Okay, my bad. I know. You guys are probably enemies. Okay, how about this? I don't know if they're in the UK. Let's put it this way. They have accents. So, for all I know, they could be in Asia. Just with an accent. Leave it to me, man. Just can I chalk it up that I'm an American living in Las Vegas? Would that give me a pass? With the whole... Sorry about that, man. God bless you, my brother. Where's Midge? Nah, you're an enemy. Well, I don't know if that's good or bad. Did we win or lose? Who won? I was on Bono's side, just so you know. It's cool. Thanks, bro. Well, look. Hey, man. I learned. Man, they're united. Well, shit, they went from like owning the whole world, right? Like being pretty much. I'm not gonna say shit. I'm just. YouTube sucks. I know they're so. I saw them in concert. They're so damn boring. But I love Bono, man. Come on. You can't tell me if Bono sat down at a bar and bought you a Guinness, and he started talking to you, that you wouldn't just be like, okay, bro, you're cool. Like, tell me that if you got in a fight with Bono, then I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to be. It'd be a tough one, bro. Dude, I'd give you a guitar. Hey, man, I love that. YouTubers don't show the basics. Yeah, you know, Neon, that's a good point. That's why I was kind of hesitated because if I didn't have the teaching from because like a lot of times I'm thinking back to the teacher I had when I was 12 years old. And this guy, okay, I'm old, right? So imagine if I'm 12 and this guy's like 50. So this guy had horned rim glasses, right? I mean, he had... Do you remember the old nerdy Apple computer guy? There was a computer guy that used to do the Apple ads for computer. And he was a total techie geek. And he had like a square... He basically looked like that guy. Like 1960s IBM. You know what I mean? And that's how my guitar teacher looked. And and I wanted to play... What did I want to play? In 1979, why did I take... I wanted to play what? That's right. I wanted to play Van Halen. I want to play Ozzy Osbourne. I want to play anything other than. You know what I mean? And you wanted to teach me all the basics and stuff. You wanted to teach me all the blues. Actually, that scale right there I learned on YouTube. It's the extended, what is that? What is it? Extended, not mixolodian. What's this one? What do you call that scale? That's not just the blues scale, there's a term for it. A pentatonic. Okay. So the extended blues minor pentatonic. Extended, he taught me that. It's that little thing, man. It was so cool. But the basics I learned, and I played those for a really long time. Pentatonic limited. All right, man. I like this chat. Cool, guys. Some guitar, some musicians. Irish music, man. You don't understand, man. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna go Dorian, Mixolydian. Yeah, absolutely, man. The Mixolydian, Lydian, etc. Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like when you start listening, when John Mayer tries to give teaching lessons, he's always talking about okay, everyone knows your blues scale, right? And then what you do is just switch it to a Mixolydian scale in the same root, and you can get this sound. And so that's what I don't know the Mixolydian, but I do know the extended, and I do know that. I do know. What is it? Just how to switch it to, if I'm playing in. So I can take it to a major right there. So I like that. But that's about it. Pentas in 5. Thanks, Neon. Iron. Slash is the king of pentatonic. What you call limited. And that's what you call limited. I figured there'd be a little argument on this, man. It sounds like that was a debatable subject because pentatonic is pretty much almost all of like rock and roll for like a generation almost. Okay, what's Secret Agent Man in? Wait. All right, man. I need to go have myself some dinner. I got some American football going on here. Irish Chef. We're gonna watch that. I got some American baseball going on. I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna call it a night. Oh. I saw Johnny Marr. He's a good guitarist. I haven't seen him. I saw the Reverend Horton Heat. That was a good show. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go have dinner. Can we hook up tomorrow? At some point? All right, guys. AC/DC is like my 5th favorite band. I love AC/DC too. 100%. The Young Brothers were born in Scottish, moved to Australia, and they were kids. Are we talking about AC/DC? Awesome. Mars phenomenal. I want to watch you eat. No, you're not going to watch me eat, Wag. Yeah, dude. Have a good night, man. Okay, bro. Talk to you guys later.